It is an unusually warm November day in Pittsburgh as the Saints and the Steelers are set to meet up. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Don Criqui. This is Hank Strand. Hank, how about the Steelers' defense? How do you attack it? It might be the best in football.
Well, I think one thing that you have to do, they play a double zone, which means they double the outside receivers with two people, and they let the tight end go expecting one-for-one coverage with a linebacker. And so I don't think they can do that with Henry Childs. He's too good a receiver, and that could be a problem for them.
What about the Pittsburgh Steelers now? How would you assess them in comparison to the Super Bowl championship teams? Are they as good?
I think they're a little bit better overall, especially offensively, but I really don't think they're as good defensively.
That's going to be interesting to see. The Saints coming off a couple of big wins, and right now we have our official breakdown. Jerry Markbright is our referee. There is his crew. As the temperature is about 70 degrees at kickoff time, and Roy Girella has the ball teed up for the Steelers and is ready to kick it off to the New Orleans Saints. The deep man for the Saints is going to be Wes Chandler, number 89, the rookie out of Florida, the #1 draft choice of the Saints, and one of the highest regarded players to come out of the last college draft. Here is Chandler moving up on the ball, gets a running start at the 3-yard line. He's across the 15. And Chandler is hit hard at the 19-yard line. Rick Moser, a running back, 39, came down to hit him. There is the Saints backfield, Manning at quarterback, Muncie and Galbraith as setbacks. The pass catchers, Tinker Owens, Ike Harris, and Henry Childs. The interior line has been hurt, but they've been staying together. The starting guards went out in one game against the Eagles. And the New Orleans Saints right now have somewhat of a makeshift offensive line, but has done a good job in the recent weeks. So the Saints break the huddle, and they will go 1st and 10 from just inside their 20-yard line. Opening play from scrimmage. Harris goes in motion. Manning play fake, and he looks down the middle. He's got Tinker Owens wide open for a first down at the 38-yard line. So, Hank, the Saints come out firing and hit the big one early.
This is what they do very well. That time they were in a slot left formation with Tinker Owens and Ike Harris on the left side. They sent him in motion, a play-action fake, and then he threw downfield to Tinker Owens, who was wide open. Mel Blount, number 47, gave him a lot of room. And, interestingly enough, Don, that time I think they're going to use a lot of slot because that way they can eliminate the double coverage by the outside receivers and should be more effective.
The Steelers come into the game with the best record in football this year. They're 8-1. The Saints 5-4, and here is Galbraith running off the right side, hits across the 40 and out to the 42, got close to 4 yards. As we look down the Pittsburgh Steeler front four, Greenwood, Green, Banaszak, and White. The linebackers, 2 consensus All-Pros in Jack Ham and Jack Lambert. Lauren Taves, a good outside linebacker at the right side. A rookie, Ron Johnson's at one corner. All-Pro Mel Blount is the other. Shell and Wagner, the deep backs in the secondary. So there was a gain of 3 yards in the last play. It's going to be 2nd down and 7 now for New Orleans. Opening series of downs. No score on the board. First quarter, Three Rivers Stadium in Pittsburgh. Saints in white. Manning takes a look. Broken play. And Archie Manning, with no one to hand the ball off to, had to eat the ball and take a loss. L.C. Greenwood, who's having one of his very best seasons for the Steelers, was there to make the play on him, force him down. That gives you a little bit something different to shoot at here, Hank, because they have to go to the long yardage play on 3rd down. You don't like to do that against a defense like the Steelers.
No, that's what they like to be. They like to be in a situation where they can rush the passer, and this is exactly what situation they're in right now.
3rd and long for the Saints. Ball is at the 40.
They're in bump and run coverage, and they want to go up on top. I'm sure they're changing the play on the line of scrimmage, and there they do go on top.
Manning lets him fly along on a timing pattern, tried to hit Tinker Owens, running the deep pattern off the right flank. And so it goes incomplete, and 4th down comes up for the Saints, and punter Tom Blanchard's out.
You know, Don, they're very deceptive. Pittsburgh is with that double cover. That time they looked like they were going to be in bump and run coverage with the cornerbacks right up on the receivers, and then the deep safeties, they run to the outside zones to double cover those people, and as a result, you've got to get the ball in between, or sometimes if you think it's going to be a long one, why, the safety man can intercept it. That time, of course, they covered it well, and Archie threw it long and incomplete.
Steelers come with a big rush. They went for the block. Blanchard hits the ball very well, and Theo Bell lets it hop into the end zone. It'll come out on a touchback to the 20. Steelers had 11 to 10 men on the line of scrimmage, and they were going after Blanchard, but he got away a good punch. And so now Pittsburgh will take over the football for the first time in the game at their 20-yard line. So we are early in the first quarter. There is no score on the board. The Pittsburgh Steelers, with the highest scoring offense in football, set to go out. Here come the Steelers. Out on offense, 1st and 10 for the first time in the game. Lynn Swan, the best pass catcher in football this year, is wide to the right. Equally dangerous deep, John Stallworth on the left flank. And Bradshaw hands off, and Rocky Blyer takes it up the middle and out to the 22 or 3-yard line. A pickup of 3 yards on the play. It's going to be 2nd down and 7 as the middle of the Saints defense was on the tackle. Alois Grooms, Alex Price, Derlin Moore, and Joe Campbell across the defensive front.
And they started with a counter play, which means that they're very concerned about the pursuit of the Saints. They try to slow it down, get Fetterspiel going one way, and came up behind it.
I want to get in a little bit about this flex defense and get your opinions on that as they go to Franco Harris. He's across the 25, the big back who needs 30 yards today to become the 7th player to gain 7,000 yards in his career. There's the backfield of the Steelers. Bradshaw having a superb year. Blyer and Harris as veteran setbacks. Stallworth, Swan, and Randy Grossman, the tight end. The offensive line, one of the very best. Colvin Pinney, the tackles, Davis and Mullins, the guards, and Mike Webster at center. Some say he's the best in the league right now. 52 over the ball at center. Watch him. 3rd down and 3 for the Steelers. No score as Bradshaw takes a look. He's got a lot of time, and he's got a man open. John Stallworth. And Stallworth isn't done yet till he's down to the 44-yard line of New Orleans. So the Steelers come up with a big gainer on 3rd down. Hank?
Yes, and he really got it in there. He's got a lot of RPMs in the ball. Of course, he's got a great arm. It was just a turn-in pattern to the inside. Look at it. He's coming right underneath. Tommy Myers, 37, is in a good position to make the interception, but he waited for the ball, didn't attack it, and as a result, Stallworth came right underneath him, 82, and made the 1st down. A great-looking play by the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Now, Franco Harris rips it up the middle and gains almost 9 yards right into the heart of the New Orleans defense. He runs the ball down to the 35-yard line. He's finally knocked down there by the free safety, Tom Myers. Here's Fetterspiel.
Yeah, watch Joe. He's got a stunt, and the ball carrier ran behind the stunt. That was, of course, Harris. And they make a nice gain on the play. Mike Webster did a great job of blocking on the play. The offensive center for the Pittsburgh Steelers, number 52.
He took Fetterspiel right out. Now on short yardage, the Steelers go right at the Saints again. They've got plenty for the 1st down, but there is a penalty marker down as Rocky Blyer takes the ball down inside the 30, but the call's going to go against Pittsburgh. Tom Myers was on the tackle again for New Orleans. Play comes back. Franco Harris, as we mentioned, needing just 30 yards to gain 7,000. Now the ball is set back to the 45-yard line of New Orleans. And here is Jerry Markbright.
Hold it. Number 52. Offense. 2nd down.
They're a great trapping team, Don. They trap anybody or anything they can trap, anything that comes along the line of scrimmage. And sometimes, even if you don't come across, they're still going to trap you. They do that so well.
They've been together. We've got great athletes in there, the Steelers. On 2nd and 11, a swing pass goes out to Franco Harris. Webster's out in front. And Franco Harris thunders all the way down to the 30-yard line and gets the 1st down. A gain on the play of about 17 yards.
Yeah, it was a well-executed play. Franco Harris waits, lets the linebackers get their drops. Terry throws the ball right over the top. Brown, number 27, gets an outside position, but not too aggressively. Franco Harris goes inside. Derlin Moore, 74, and number 27 finally come in and make the tackle, Ray Brown.
Jim Merlo, Joe Fetterspiel, Pat Hughes back the line. Chapman and Spencer the corners. Brown and Myers the safety for New Orleans. 1st and 10 Steelers, they drive on. This time the Saints come down the run. Franco Harris didn't get too far, did advance it inside the 30. Fetterspiel makes the hit, 58.
Yeah. Joe Fetterspiel, the middle linebacker, 58, goes into the gap, is coming through there, reads the blocks very well, and stops Franco Harris, number 32, right at the line of scrimmage. Great play by Joe Fetterspiel, number 58.
They talk about the flex defense where you really have people playing a little bit off the line. You got 5 guys who look like they might rush, but 4 come. You're not sure just which one is going to hold back.
No, and I think basically you try to run at the people off the line of scrimmage and throw on 1st down because it's hard to get a pass rush from the flex when they're playing that soft. That time they ran right at the flex, and that's what the good teams are going to do.
So Harris runs it right down and gets it inside the 20 for a first down. And there is the front four of the New Orleans Saints. Alois Grooms, tackles Alex Price and Derlin Moore. Campbell at the one defensive end, Merlo, Fettersfield, and Hughes backing the line. And the four safeties, four deep backs for New Orleans. Chapman and Spencer at the corners, Brown and Myers the safeties. The Steelers moving the ball after their first possession. They took it over on their 20 on a touchback, and they go right back to Franco Harris. All day long behind this Webster.
You know, the other thing that's very important against this Pittsburgh team, the 2 times or 3 times I've seen them play, one thing you've got to do, you've got to be able to stop Franco Harris from a running standpoint, because he's a tough, big, strong running back, and if you can't stop him, you're going to have a long, tough afternoon, because he really makes things happen and really makes the sparks fly. Right now, he's carried the ball 4 times for 30 yards.
So we unofficially had him at 7,000 for his great career. 7,000 yards in 7 seasons. This one a long way from over. Harris with over 700 yards on the year now. Right back to Franco Harris, and the big guy from Penn State belts the ball down to the 11-yard line to pick up a 2. It'll be 3rd down and 3. Here's the sign now that Franco Harris hit 7,000. Pat Hughes knocked him down. Standing ovation for Franco Harris of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Boy, that's a lot. You wear out a lot of shoes running that far.
I tell you.
Don, that's a great compliment to a terrifically outstanding running back.
6'4", 240. 58 career touchdowns, 5 this year. He's 6th on the all-time list with touchdowns. Yards start to get tougher now as New Orleans holds tight on against a 3rd and 3 run. Ray Brown comes up to make the hit on Rocky Blyer. And Roy Girella's going to come out on 4th down. The Steelers are going to look for the short field goal rather than try to punch out the 1st down and 4th down.
I'm surprised they ran that kind of a play on that kind of yardage situation. They brought Sid Thornton in on the wing back and tried to run in that area, but it was a long way to run. And, of course, they didn't succeed in making the 1st down. The defense of the Saints did a good job.
Craig Colquitt will hold, and Roy Girella, with the ball down, drills it up. Plenty of distance, and he's got the point. So the Steelers go on the board first. Roy Girella hits the field goal, and the Pittsburgh Steelers, looking for their 9th win in 10 games this season, go up on the board with a 3-0 lead.
Welcome, everybody, to the light beer battle of the big guys. And there they are, 2 teams locked in mortal combat to decide the eternal argument over light beer from Miller. On one side, the big guys who think the best thing about light is it tastes great. Yeah, it tastes great. On the other side, the big guys who think the best thing about light is it has a third less calories than their regular beer. It's less filling.
I feel strongly both ways.
I tell you, this is really no respect. Blue is the violet and red is the rose. You don't pull them or break your nose.
The tension here is almost unbearable.
Oh, you guys.
They can't go on much longer. Something big has got to happen soon. Holy cow, look at that.
Hi, Mickey.
Hi, dolls.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
I still don't know why they asked me to do this commercial.
This Sunday on Cavs.
There's been an inmate takeover at your old prison. The prisoners have asked for you to be a go-between.
We'll find out which side you're on. I'm one of you!
This telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League and is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Pittsburgh Steelers and the National Football League is prohibited. Roy Girella, who hit a field goal for the first points of the game to give Pittsburgh a 3-0 lead, kicks off now. His kickoff goes out of bounds. Rich Marty lets it roll out. Be a 5-yard assessment against Girella, so he sets his kicking tee back to the Pittsburgh Steelers 30.
You know, that's what a return man like Chandler does. He kind of intimidates you from a kickoff standpoint. You wind up trying to kick the ball away from him and try to aim the ball. That time they try to aim it at Rich Marty, and it went out of bounds, and now, of course, they have to kick back from the 30-yard line. And so, as a result, he's a very effective weapon.
You don't want Wes Chandler getting the ball if you can help it. Green Bay and Philadelphia, the Packers have just gone out in front 3-0 on a field goal by Chester Markall in the first period. What do you think of Green Bay, Hank?
Very surprising. I saw them early in the season, and I have to admit that I really never dreamed they would be this far along from a record standpoint at this stage of the season. And it's really a great compliment to Bart Starr and his fine staff and his young team, because they've really done a great job.
Now, after the penalty against the Steelers, kickoff going out of bounds, Jarrella has it teed up, and there's Chandler going back. Getting set to go, the rookie from Florida. Credentials he came into pro football with. Boy, this could be a scouting report on him. It's like the guy's headed for Canton, Ohio in the Hall of Fame.
You know, Clarence Chapman, you can't take him too lightly either. He's got great speed, and last year ran a 92-yard return for us against the 49ers, so he can go too.
He's on the left flank. Now Jarrella gets a hopper downfield. It's going to be Chapman with the ball at the 9. He's got a problem. And the Steelers special teams are there. Theo Bell, 83, was down. And the Saints going off and stand just inside their 20.
Well, the Pittsburgh team got off the hook there nicely, because with the extra 5 yards, it should have been a great opportunity for a good return, but he kicked a knuckleball, and as a result, it was difficult to field, and they didn't get much of a return at all on that play.
Saints with their second possession. You'll recall the first time they had the ball, they hit the big gainer, the throw on the first down. Let's see what they come out against this Pittsburgh Steeler with now. Archie Manning at quarterback. Manning again, a broken play, and Archie Manning goes down with no gain.
It looked like it should have been a trap play, and it's the second time they've blown a play in the early stage of this game. It looked like the play was designed to go to Muncie and come back, but Muncie was not there, and evidently there was a mix-up on the play, which is obvious. Archie Manning did the next best thing to try to run the ball into the trapping area, but didn't succeed in making any yardage on the play.
So Archie and the Saints now with second and long. Ike Harris and Tinker Owens wide to either side. Handoff goes to Galbraith, and he gets the ball out across the 20. And the Saints almost had a misconnection there.
Yes, it was a delayed play, a draw play, and the exchange, the mesh between the quarterback and the fullback was not too smooth.
But overall, Manning, having his finest season as a professional after 9 games, he leads the NFC in passing, and a lot has to do with just plain good health. He's got that throwing arm back in peak form.
Yes, it's the first time he's been in tip-top shape for a long time, and of course, he's got the ability to be one of the great ones in the league.
Tony Dungy is in as a 5th defensive back now for the Steelers on 3rd down and 5 for New Orleans.
They fake the blitz. They're running outside with Muncie this time.
Chuck Muncie is knocked down by 58 Jack Lambert, the all-pro middle linebacker of the Steelers. Got the first down.
Yes, it was a plain sweep to the left side, and this is where people have really been running. Here's Muncie coming around the outside. He's got the ball in the wrong arm. Pressure from the inside, does a good job of running, however, and gets the necessary yardage for the first down. A good, unpredictable call by Archie Manning.
Donnie Shell, one of the safeties, finally made the tackle, but the Saints get the big play on 3rd down. So they keep the drive alive, keep the chain markers moving. 1st and 10.
Now they're going to roll out here on 1st down. Nope, play action pass.
And he's got time, swings it out. Childs, the tight end, has the ball, but he also has a lot of Pittsburgh Steelers hitting at him as soon as he catches it. He did gain yardage, about 4.
Childs that time was a safety valve on the play, and it looked like he got out there just a little bit too quickly. Archie was looking downfield, and if nobody was open, why then, of course, he was going to go back to Henry Childs. By the time he got the ball to him, of course, he was covered pretty well and just made a couple of yards on the play.
Dick Nolan on the sideline. 3 times he had divisional championship teams at San Francisco, and right now he has the Saints with their best record through 9 games ever, 5-4. They're up against a tough one today in the Pittsburgh Steelers. They were up against a tough one last week against the Giants, came back to win.
Henry Childs, and there's Chuck Muncie wide open.
Beautiful throw by Manning, a perfect lead to running back Chuck Muncie, and the big guy from California takes the ball on the dead run and brings it all the way down to the Steelers' 35-yard line.
And that's what they can do. Archie Manning, the great thing about Archie Manning, Don, he can find the right guy, the guy who was open. That time you see him licking ham, number 58. Or Lambert, I should say, 58. and he gets the ball right on target, and it's a big play. Chuck Muncy making a fine catch and puts the ball in the good scoring area on about the 35-yard line.
The connection good for a 32-yard gainer, and the Saints start them out a challenge now. Trailing 3-0 in the first quarter, 2.5 minutes to play in it. Steelers lead 3-0. Saints moving the football. Pitch back goes to Muncy. And Muncy, who is, we're told, had a very good week of practice. He's had some nagging injuries, but is sound right now. Gets the ball down to the 30. He got almost 5. Mike Wagner hit him.
They're going to try to run the ball, I'm sure, to the left. At Banasek on the right side, and of course the right end, Dwight Wright, number 78. That's where they're going to try to do business, and they did a good job in the last 2 times they ran the ball to that side.
You do business against the Steelers anywhere you're fortunate enough to do it.
Yeah, and you take whatever they give you, and that's what Archie did the last time. They gave him coverage on the halfback, and he took advantage of it for a nice big gain.
Chuck Muncy running well again as he weaves behind the interior line of the New Orleans Saints. Joe Green, the big guy from North Texas State, made the knockdown for Pittsburgh. There's the Chester Markall field goal to put the Packers out in front of the Eagles, 3-0 in the first period at Philadelphia. Joe Green, Mean Joe Green, now in his 10th year as a Pittsburgh Steeler. Been voted the most valuable defensive player in the NFL.
It's a good time for a play-action pass right here, Don.
3rd and just over 1 for New Orleans.
Yep.
Steelers don't give up the yardage. Let's see now. Manning's clapping. Apparently
I think he made the first
down. He did get there on that second try. So Galbraith has been the Saints' best runner and their best pass catcher. 45 receptions coming into the game and 355 yards rushing. Gets the first down for New Orleans at the 25.
And they continue to run to the left. And I'm sure when they throw the ball a great deal, they'll try to throw to their left side, too, on Blount, if they can get him on one-for-one coverage. And, of course, on Ron Johnson, the rookie on the left corner.
Nell Blunt from Southern University in Baton Rouge, playing with a badly bruised shoulder. With some question as to whether he'd start. Saints try the middle. Joe Green knocks it down. Saints going right at the Steeler defense that time, and Tony Galbraith doesn't get too much, so it's going to be second down now and about 8.
That's one thing you have to do against Pittsburgh. You have to run inside so they can take a little sniff and keep them honest inside so that you can do a better job of running off tackle and outside. If you just let them run from side to side, they're really difficult to catch because they pursue so well.
Great linebackers, Lambert and Ham, are all over the field. Before the Saints get the next play off, the gun sounds, and that is the end of the first quarter. With the Pittsburgh Steelers in the lead and a Roy Jurella field goal, 3-0. But when we come back to open the second quarter of play, the New Orleans Saints will be down close. With Hank Strand, this is Don Criqui back at Three River Stadium in Pittsburgh. Ready now to open the second quarter of play. Saints with the ball, second down and 9 coming up. Steelers in the lead, 3-0. Manning throwing very well in the first quarter. 3 of 4, he completed for 55 yards. And the Steelers have now gone 10 first quarters this season without giving the opposition a touchdown. They've only permitted 1 field goal in 10 quarters, opening quarter. First 15 minutes of the game, that defense is tough to score on. The Saints now starting to challenge. Manning takes a look. Timing pattern over the middle. It's intercepted by Jack Lambert. The middle linebacker, Jack Lambert. Despite those heavily taped hands, hooks onto the football. And the Saints drive is stopped.
That's why he's such a great linebacker, because when you get a chance to make an interception, you make it, and that's exactly what he did.
That's his second of the season. Dick Nolan and his counterpart Chuck Noll on opposing sidelines as the Steelers have the ball back on a Jack Lambert interception. Here's Bradshaw taking a look and the rushes against him. He can go. They say he'd have made it in the league as a running back had he not been a great quarterback. Bradshaw going down hard, loses the ball. There might be a call against the Saints for a late hit. Penalty marker is down.
You know, after all the years he's played, he still has the same daring and the same excitement. Here we get the call. Unnecessary roughness. Looked like Don Reese, number 60.
The ball is moved out to the 42, and here's the call.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 58, defense, first down.
Got Joe Fettersfield on. Now let's watch the earlier interception by Lambert.
Watch, it was double coverage on the other side, and the receiver was knocked down, coming to the inside, and as a result, Lambert was wide open, made the interception.
So the Steelers with a 3-0 lead in the second quarter move on. Here's a pitch back as Franco Harris looks to the outside. He's hemmed in, and the Saints are going to knock him down for a substantial loss on the play. The strong safety Ray Brown, 27, came up along with outside linebacker Jim Merlo, number 57.
Good reaction on the part of the defense and an outside play. Watch Fettersfield, 58, coming over. Good pursuit angles. Jim Merlo making penetration across the line of scrimmage. Ray Brown, number 27, along with Jim Merlo, number 57, do a good job of gang tackling and knocking down Franco Harris at 2nd and 16.
So Terry Bradshaw and the Steelers come out of the huddle now with Swan and Starworth very much factors in the upcoming play. 2nd and 16. Bradshaw looks, swings it out. Deep men are covered. He goes to Franco Harris. Puts a juke step on. Franco Harris got back the lost yardage on his previous run. Advances the ball back to the 42. It's going to be 3rd down and 10. Pat Hughes hit him.
The linebackers, he's waiting for the linebackers to get depth. Franco Harris comes out to the left side, watching the linebackers and defensive backs get depth. He makes the catch and is tackled in the open field by Pat Hughes, who is in a good tackling position and makes a fine tackle near the sideline.
Pat Hughes now in his 9th year out of Boston University, originally a New York Giant. Played good football since coming to the Saints. 3rd year at New Orleans as Bradshaw sets his team up on 3rd and 10. He's got time. He's got a home run ball out there. But way too much on it for Lynn Swan. As he had the defense beaten, but the ball was way long. You get a feeling, Hank, that Bradshaw could throw it out of the arena if he had it.
Oh, he's a real muscle man. And he ought to really be a strong man at the circus. He's that big and strong. And he throws that football just like a baseball, but he threw it a little bit too long that time. To Lynn Swan.
I think he still holds the national high school javelin throw record, national record. And of course, Manning, his counterpart with New Orleans, one of the highest regarded Major League Baseball prospects as a shortstop at Ole Miss.
Well, they're both great athletes.
They are. Colquitt, a rookie from Tennessee, angles his punt. Looks like he did a pretty good job with it. That's outside the 20. Coming out to the 30.
But here again, that's what a guy like Chandler does back there. Sometimes you wonder why he hasn't done more returning-wise, but a lot of times, if they try to kick it out of bounds and do so, it's just very effective.
Back and set to go on a really lovely day here in Pittsburgh for November. Temperature almost 70 degrees, clear and sunny skies. Archie Manning with his team down 3-0. Saints at their 3rd possession of the game. They've moved the ball twice, but have not been able to get in. L.C. Greenwood leaves early, but we'll see if the tackle, Robert Woods, drew him off.
I don't think he did. I think that it's on Pittsburgh.
Yep. Hollywood Bags Greenwood, they call him. The ball's advanced out in a 5-yard assessment against the Steelers to the 35-yard line.
Encroachment, number 68, defense, first down.
Archie does a good job of changing the inflection in his voice and the rhythm and the cadence, and as a result, that's what makes a defensive player jump offside, and it's a nice way and an easy way to pick up 5.
Your old friend Lenny Dawson was pretty good at that, too.
Oh, he was a master at that. Yes, he was.
Pitch back goes to Muncy. Good block, and Muncy gets the ball out on a 1st and 5 carry to the 39-yard line. It'll bring up 2nd and 1. Lauren Tays, outside linebacker number 51 out of California, was the man who made the knockdown.
You know, people don't realize how big and strong Chuck Muncy is. He's 6'3" and about 235, and he runs a 40 and 4.5, and he's just a tremendous athlete. And when he's totally healthy, and when he's healthy, he can really go.
It is now 2nd and less than 1 for New Orleans. Galbraith hits ahead. He's got a first down. The ball's out just across the 40. L.C. Greenwood and Jack Lambert made the stop. Galbraith comes into the game averaging 3.3 yards a rush. A durable back. The Saints came into this game with 554 yards, or 554 plays on offense this season. Tony Galbraith handled the ball either running it or passing it for a third of them.
I don't know whether there's a better fullback in the National Football Conference than Tony Galbraith. Overall, runner, pass receiver, blocker, he does it all. And along with it, he's got a great attitude and a great pusher.
Galbraith is the up back now in the I set. Muncie is the beat back.
They got to throw some on first down.
Right up the middle, and Galbraith powering his way, gets ahead for about 6 yards before Joe Green knocked him down. I didn't realize, Hank, that Muncie's as big as you said. He's 235.
Oh, yeah, he is. Now, this is a good blocking at the point of attack. Dave LaFari, John Hill, number 62, and Fred Sturt, number 68, all of whom do a great job of blowing him off the line of scrimmage and providing Tony with running room, whereby he was able to get 6 yards on the play. Great job up front by the Saint offensive line. You know, they talk a lot about the injured players, and they were fine, but these young players who are playing now are all experienced players who've been in the league for several years, and they're really doing a good job.
Hard hit. Lambert puts on Chuck Muncie. And Muncie is knocked down for little or no gain at about the 48-yard line of New Orleans. Game moving right along. We're in the second quarter. 11:35 to play in the half. Steelers lead at 3-0. Their first possession, they went from their own 20 down close. Jarrella kicked a point-blank field goal. That's the only scoring we have so far. 3-0 Pittsburgh. Interesting quote from Chuck Noll. Somebody said, do you think your team might be looking past New Orleans and towards the Rams, who the Steelers play next week? Noll said, hey, the Saints went out to Los Angeles and beat the Rams.
They're going to run this way, it looks like. Let's see if they do with the back tilted this way. Don, yep.
Here's Chuck Muncie coming straight ahead. Gets the ball to midfield. But in third down, it looks like he might be just short of the first down.
Yeah, I don't think he made it. And that time they really tipped the play by the alignment of Tony Galbraith. He was way up ahead of Chuck Muncie, which indicated they were going to run to the right. And I don't think they made the first down.
So you don't want to gamble on fourth down at midfield against Pittsburgh. Got to play percentages, and percentages are Tom Blanchard to punt it. Rudershan drops back deep now for Pittsburgh, along with Theo Bell. Yeah, one thing, Pittsburgh has got athletes from spot number 1 on the roster right through 45. You've got to be some kind of a football player to make this team.
You better have a lot of talent, a lot of skill and ability.
After a 60-yard first punt, Blanchard doesn't hit this one nearly as well. There is also a penalty marker down.
You know, I'm surprised that he tried to kick the ball to his right that time. Normally, you're much better to kick it to your left because, again, if you kick a bad one off the side of your foot, it goes down the middle of the field, and you've got a chance for a fine punt. If you kick it to the right and it slips off like it did there, you've got a bad kick.
Aha. That's something. That'll give New Orleans a first down. Hank, you're always the coach. I see you got your hang time watch right here.
Yeah, we just wanted to double check it.
Let's see what this penalty is now. It's going to be an assessment against the Steelers. It came on a 4th and less than a yard, so the 5-yard mark-off gives the Saints a first down.
Here he is. Let's see what he calls.
Illegal cutting foul, number 39 defense, automatic first down.
Rick Moser with an illegal block. So the Saints get a break, keep their drive alive. Chain markers move. They have a first down at the Pittsburgh 45-yard line. The interior line for New Orleans, J.T. Taylor at one tackle, Robert Woods is the other. Fred Sturt and Dave LaFari are the guards, and John Hill the center as Archie Manning brings his club out.
Let's see if he throws the ball on first down here.
He hasn't gone to Mike Harris yet. A very good pass catch who's wide and right against the rookie cornerback Ron Johnson.
There it is.
Got it.
Muncie's wide open on a play-action pass.
Boy, he thunders when he gets the ball. He can really run.
Oh, he's really a lightning. And big and strong, and very few people in the league who have that kind of size, have that kind of speed.
Well, when you point out a 4.5 40, now that is a nebulous term to people who aren't involved in football, but that's what cornerback speed.
That's without somebody chasing him. With somebody chasing him, I guarantee you he runs faster than that. There's a play-action pass. He's wide open in the flat. Yeah, one of the other things about Chuck Muncie is the fact that he wears glasses.
He and Joe Lavender and 2 others, but not too many. Really seeing the ball very well today. He's caught 2. The first one good for 32 yards. That's for another first down. Manning looks. And a marker goes down as Galbraith tries a one-hand stab at the football. Marker down at the line of scrimmage. Lambert was covering on the play. Going to go against the Saints. This one might have a hold.
Looks like a holding penalty.
So the mark-off is going to be against New Orleans. We have 9:28 left to play in the first half. 3-0 Pittsburgh. Now looking at some scores, Green Bay continues to lead the Philadelphia Eagles 3-0 after one period of play. St. Louis has gone in front of the New York Giants 7-0 at St. Louis. Atlanta leading San Francisco in the second quarter 7-3.
Holding, number 68, offense, first down.
Fred Sturt. Saints have really had some tough breaks in the offensive line. Two starting guards, Conrad Dobler and Emmanuel Sanders, are out for the season, as is the starting tackle John Watson. They've had 5 offensive linemen go on injured reserve. First and 20 now for Archie Manning and the Saints. A tough call against a great defense. Manning lofts it. He's got Ike Harris open for a first down. They really did block well for Archie Manning on that one, and he delivered.
He's got plenty of time to throw the ball, and here again, if Archie's got the time, he's going to find the right guy. Here you see him. Good protection. Throws outside, right on the money to Ike Harris, who makes a inside-outside move, and he's wide open. Here we see the same shot again. Good protection. That's the vital thing. He's got plenty of time to throw the ball and throws it right on the money. He goes into the post and back out to the outside, licking the double zone with a safety man playing deep outside. 1st and 10, Saints.
These CBS cameramen don't miss a thing. 2 good angles on a great play for New Orleans. Here's a handoff going straight ahead to Galbraith, and he is down inside the 20 to about the 18-yard line. So the Saints are very definitely in field goal range, but they have more downs to work with now as they have second coming up. On a tackle, L.C. Greenwood and Joe Green. You mentioned at the outset, Hank, you don't feel that the Steelers might be as strong defensively as those Super Bowl championship teams.
Yeah, I know they're not. They're definitely not as strong as they were, but they're dominating teams offensively, which they didn't do at that time, and as a result, they got a little bit more overall balance, but they're not as good defensively.
Archie Manning now 5 for 7 throwing the ball for 90 yards.
They got bump and run. Let's see if he tries to go up on top. There he is.
Ike Harris has the ball inside the 10. He's down to the 5. It's a 1st and goal for New Orleans at the Pittsburgh 5-yard line.
That time it was the delay pattern. They were in double coverage. Ike Harris looked like he was going up, then came underneath to the inside, was wide open, makes the fine reception, and is finally tackled there by Mel Blount, number 47. Here's another shot of it. The key, again, is the fine protection. Dave LaFari, 64, and John Hill, 62, came off of one block, got another. Ike Hill goes underneath the coverage and is wide open, and the Saints have the ball on the 5-yard line.
We've got a good one going here at Three Rivers Stadium as the Steelers lead 3-0, but the Saints are now challenging.
See if they run to the left.
Got it, and here comes Chuck Muncy, and the Steelers are there to meet him. Lambert coming up to make a hard hit along with Donnie Shell, the free safety.
A lot of teams have been running left and very successfully. I'm sure that the Pittsburgh team is aware of that. They probably anticipate the fact that they're going to run that side, and maybe we're a little bit better prepared to stop that play, but it was very obvious that the Saints were going to run to the left side on that last play.
So now, with the ball at the 5, it is 2nd and goal, New Orleans. 6:45 left to play in the first half. Clock running. Steelers lead 3-0.
Play action pass, rollout.
Manning has a man, whips it, touchdown New Orleans. Rich Marty, the young man from Penn State, comes in on offense and scores a touchdown in a place he loves to score him, right here in Pennsylvania.
Rollout pass to the right, faking to Chuck Muncy, throwing the pass in the corner, a right pattern, an outside move by Rich Marty, number 84. And this is what Archie Manning does as well as anybody in pro football. He doesn't do it very often, but he does it extremely well. Look at that. Gets it right on the mark. And, of course, Rich Marty reaches a little bit behind, makes a great catch, and the Saints go ahead 6-3, lining up for the extra point.
Manning throwing the ball beautifully. Watching him before the game, he was working on that very play they just scored the touchdown on time and time again, throwing on the rollout. Now, Mickemeyer with the point after, and he got out of that one, kicked it right up into the stands, and so, with 6:36 to play in the first half, the Saints have come from behind. They now lead the game 7-3. Back at Three River Stadium in Pittsburgh. Mickemeyer ready to kick it off now for New Orleans. They've had a parade of place kickers because of the injury to Richie Zarro. At back peak now for the Pittsburgh Steelers is Larry Anderson, a rookie. The Steelers are very impressed with he has the football now. He's going to get some room to operate. He's across the 20, across the 25. He's to the 30. He's to the 35. And Larry Anderson gets it all the way out to the 38-yard line. A short kickoff. That's Steve Mickemeyer, the man who kicked it off short, came up to make the final tackle.
Normally he's been kicking the ball very long. He's got a good strong leg. That time he kicked a kind of a chip shot. And a good return that time to about the 38-yard line.
So now the Steelers go on offense, trailing New Orleans in the second quarter, 7-3. This is Don Criqui with Hank Stram, Three River Stadium, Pittsburgh, 6:26 to play in the first half. 7-3 New Orleans, Pittsburgh, first and 10. Rocky Blyer, the former Notre Dame captain, runs straight ahead. He gets the ball out to the 43-yard line. Don Reese, number 60 on the stop for New Orleans.
That time there was a trap play up the middle, and they picked up a nice chunky yardage on first and 10. And this is what they like to do. They are a trapping personality, and when you talk about a trap, you talk about a play where you let the defensive people come across the line of scrimmage like they're not going to get blocked and then blocked from the inside out.
The Steelers are number one in the AFC in scoring points, 229 coming into the game. They've only managed 3 so far as they go to Blyer for a first down. Now they start to pound it out against New Orleans, running behind John Kolb and Sam Davis.
This time they run right up the middle. There's Fetterspiel, and there's a fine block right at the point of the of attack by their right guard, Jerry Mullins, and Rocky Blyer forced through there for the necessary yardage in the first down.
And this Webster, we can't say enough about the offensive center for Pittsburgh. The guy's great. Puts somebody on the floor every game. Every play.
He's not a big guy either.
No, he's not.
He's about 6'1". Great leverage.
He is something. They rave about him here, and if you watch him, it's difficult to always watch the offense. Look at it, just blow the guy right off the play. That's where the play went, right off of Webster's block. He's quick.
Oh, he's got great leverage and gets into people very quickly. It's really a cross block. He's got to block the defensive left tackle, who is Alex Price, and then the right guard, Mullins, traps the defensive right tackle, and they go pouring through there, and they made another big gain. Second and short, they might try a play-action pass or something big on this short yardage situation.
Webster's now in his 5th year out of Wisconsin. He was a 4th-round draft choice, 1974. They've got an all-pro there. Here is Blyer again going up the middle. He gets the first down, but a penalty marker is fired in from the back judge. Safeties around the tackle. They got Pittsburgh on a hold. Somebody saw that as quite a blatant hold because that penalty marker was thrown in with authority.
Yes, and it looked like the reaction, just the response. I don't know whether he was the one involved, but Mullins, 72, reacted to the play. Let's see what they call.
Illegal use of the hands. Number 52, offense, second down.
Mike Webster.
Yeah, they got Webster on that one.
Yep.
So now the ball is set back to the Pittsburgh 49-yard line. It's going to be second down and 11 for the Steelers. They trail New Orleans in the second quarter, 7-3. Bradshaw's been going to the run, and he goes right back to Rocky Blyer as the Saint linebackers are keying on Franco Harris, and Blyer getting consecutive calls now, 4 plays, and he gets inside the 45.
Webster that time blocked Derlin Moore. Derlin gets a piece of him, but he runs right through his arms. Fetterspiel gets a piece of him, too, and finally slides down to the ankle. Jim Merlo and Ray Brown, 27 and 57, respectively, finally help on the tackle. 3rd and 4.
Bradshaw has not been connecting to those wide receivers. He got Stallworth once early, but you know he's going to be going before long. It's 3rd down and 4 now for Pittsburgh. Bradshaw takes a look.
Rocky Blyer's wide open.
Is he ever? And Rocky Blyer with the reception at the 36-yard line, dives inside the 35 to the 34. Pat Hughes tackles him. The Steelers drive on.
You know, the great thing about both of these backs, watch Bradshaw back in the pocket. Blyer is in the flat area. He spots him, makes a fine catch, and watch him run through a tackle. Fetterspiel comes over and slows him down a little bit, but he has really kind of overran the play, and Blyer made the first down.
So with the Saints leading 7-3 in the second quarter, the Steelers take a look at the pass again. Timing pattern in the flat for the stalwart. Free football. And New Orleans might have it. Let's see if he was inbounds. And the Saints have the ball. It is a fumble recovery. Starworth losing the ball. It hops right up in the air. We couldn't tell whether or not the man was inbounds when he made the recovery. It was, and so Ray Brown gets the football. Tommy Myers is credited with the fumble recovery.
There you see Stallworth making the catch. Maurice Spencer, 29, getting a piece, knocks the ball loose. And here you see Tommy Myers picking it up on the first bounce, maintains possession, and Saints have the ball at this part of the field, 1st and 10.
So the replay camera angle shows very distinctly the ball was inbounds when Myers made the recovery. Saints going offense. Our producer today is Bob Rowe. Our director, Jim Silman, here at Three Rivers Stadium with the Saints in the lead 7-3 in the second quarter. Manning directs the team 1st and 10.
Mike Strawn is in at halfback, and Wes Chandler is in at the other split-in position at this stage of the game.
Jack Lambert ran through the interference, knocked down Tony Galbraith. So there's a loss on the play back to the 30-yard line. It's going to be 2nd down and about 14 for New Orleans.
It was kind of a delayed counter play. And it's a play that's very difficult to run against this team because they react so well.
Next Saturday at 4:30 Eastern Time, it's the CBS Sports Spectacular, including live coverage from Buenos Aires. Hugo Coro, the reigning world middleweight champion, defending his title against Rodrigo Valdez. And now the Saints go 2nd and 14. Manning swings it out. Strawn has the ball, and he thunders ahead across the 40. A penalty marker is down as he gets to the 42. Could be a clip against New Orleans. In addition to that live coverage of the World Middleweight Championship fight, you'll see live coverage from Aqueduct Racetrack of the Stuyvesant Handicap. This is going to be the last race for the great Seattle Slew. That's next Saturday, the CBS Sports Spectacular at 4:30 Eastern, 3:30 Central and Pacific here on CBS. Here's the call.
Pass interference.
Oh,
47, defense, decline, 1st down.
Mel Blunt, number 47.
How can they decline and get a 1st down? It didn't get far enough for 1st down. We better talk this over.
Yeah, I think that's what they're doing right now. They're talking it over to make sure they express that correctly.
An automatic 1st down at the point of infraction.
Here we go.
Interference ball, 47, accepted, 1st down.
There we go.
Okay, we're all on the same page now. 1st and 10, New Orleans. And the Saints lead 7-3.
Again, Wes Chandler is in at the split-in position, and Mike Strawn, number 33, who made that nice run after the reception from Archie Manning on a delayed flare pattern, are in the game at this stage.
This is the first time the Saints have ever played at Three Rivers Stadium in Pittsburgh. Last time they were in Pittsburgh to play the Steelers, it was Pitt Stadium. Manning, deep drop. That's a rip. Icarus, he makes the reception at the 38. Another perfectly thrown ball by Archie Manning as Icarus on little cat's feet tiptoes inbound.
You know, the nice thing, they're double covering the outside receiver, but the strong safety is taking a lot of time to get back deep outside, and they're cutting in front of the strong safety, and he's wide open. There you see him, wide open between the short man and the deep one. And it's a very fine pattern by Ike Harris and an excellent throw by Archie Manning.
Another big gainer as the Saints get a 1st down and a long throw from Archie Manning, who has been absolutely superb quarterbacking the Saints today. His throwing has never been better. And now the Saints move on, leading 7-3 in the second quarter, 1st and 10.
Draw play.
Here comes Strawn. He got yardage down close to the 34-yard line, a pickup of close to 5. Manning is now 8 for 10 throwing the ball for 130 yards as we get the 2-minute warning. Jack Lambert and Shell were on the tackle, so the Saints, with a big throw from Manning, keep their drive alive as they lead the game 7-3. They'll be back. We all will in just a moment.
I'm sure they'll continue to throw the football because they're doing that very successfully. He's getting plenty of time to throw the ball, and what they're doing there with their double coverages, they're slow covering the outside, and Harris has been wide open underneath the safety net.
He did have the one bad ball. That was the one Lambert picked up.
Yes, but the receiver was knocked down on the play. Here's Strong going to the left side. They continue to run left. That time he picked up a little yardage, but not very much, and they responded pretty well to that sweep.
Percentage-wise, Hank, as you're well aware, most teams run to the right the majority of the time. Why is that?
I think it's just a natural tendency that most teams are right-handed. People on the team are right-handed, quarterback right-handed. And if you're not careful, if you don't scout yourself very carefully, you have a very strong overemphasis to the right side. You got to keep it balanced.
Third down and just over 4. Manning takes a look. It is caught for a first down. Henry Childs, the tight end, turns in front of the defense, in front of the linebackers who were covering him on the deep zone drop they took. Lawrence Hayes and Jack Lambert knock him down, but it's a first down Saints. So another big third down play by Archie Manning, another completion. He is now 9 for 11, and the Saints drive continues. We'll be back with it in a moment. The New Orleans Saints off to their best start ever as a football team. And off to a good start in this game against the Steelers. Pittsburgh scored 3 points the first time they had the ball, but New Orleans has come back to take the lead 7-3.
See if they continue to throw the ball. I surely would, the way they're throwing it as successfully as they are with the protection they have.
Manning is 9 for 11. They go to the draw, and Galbraith crashes in 15-yard line. He's got a first down.
You know, the way they're moving the football, the draw, the trap, the screen, and the passing should be very, very good. Here's a draw play right up the middle with Tony Galbraith. He's got very happy feet, Don. He really moves well. It's hard to tackle in the open field.
Well, they spot the ball down. It's going to make it second and 1. It's actually just a yard short. They go back to the run, and Galbraith does get the first down this time, advancing it down to the 10-yard line. So the Saints use one of their 3 allotted timeouts. They stop the clock with 49 seconds left to play in the first half, and New Orleans is challenging again, leading the game 7-3. So we'll be back in a moment as the Saints are giving the Pittsburgh Steelers vaunted defense all it can handle. Coming to this game, Archie Manning had the lowest interception rate of any quarterback in the National Football League. He threw one today, but he still has the lowest interception rate. He's having a superior day, though, throwing the ball. 9 for 11, passing it for 160 yards. Dennis Winston comes in as another linebacker. Joe Green goes out. They have 3 down linemen.
Bump and run. See if he goes on top. No, it's a sweep. Muncie.
And an excellent tackle again by Jack Lambert. Jack Ham on this thing. Number 59, but Lambert crashes across also.
It's a kind of a counter play. Sturt, number 68, is pulling on the play and pulling a little bit too slowly. And there we see great penetration by Jack Ham.
Time very much a factor now. The clock is running. 21 seconds to play in the first half. Manning a timing pattern into the end zone. He was trying to get the ball in there. Broken up by Mel Blunt.
You know, that kind of a play when they're in bump and run. They were in that defense the first time. And I thought he would try to go to it on first down, but he didn't. They gave it to him again. He goes, it's an automatic. They try to go over the top. But the great thing about the defensive back, Blunt, he's so tall, 47, that it's hard to get the ball over the top of him. He's the same size as Ike Harris, and as a result, they didn't succeed in making that connection.
They are the same size. They're both 6'3". Actually, Blunt's a little bigger. He's 6'3". They list him as 205, but he weighs about 218 pounds.
Wes Chandler is still in at the split-in position. Harris on the left side. And Muncie is back in the game at halfback.
Chandler matched on against the Steelers' #1 draft choice. Another rookie.
Bump and run again. Same situation.
Chandler, way up in the air, did not get there.
Ron Johnson, he really had a chance to make that catch. Ron Johnson was a little confused on the play, turned the wrong way.
Chandler can get up in the air, though, can he?
Yes, he can. Watch him now. Look at. So he got him fade, but he out-jumps him. And really, he's got a chance to make that catch. He should have made the catch, very frankly, and it falls incomplete. But there again, it was bump and run, and that's something that you like to do against that defense. You throw the ball over the top. Penalty on the play, evidently.
Encroachment foul, number 75, defense, third down.
Well, that advances the ball 5 yards from the end zone. You see how much a factor time is now. That's the only seconds remaining in the second quarter. 12 seconds, so the Saints will go from scrimmage one more time. And send out the field goal unit if the pass is incomplete. Or will they throw a draw run at the Steelers?
Bump and run again. A draw play would be a good call here because the middle looks like it's really wide open. Let's see what they do. Oh, he's thrown again. This time underneath.
Fumble. Steelers have the ball. The Saints drive is stopped. The Steelers get the ball. Joe Green gets up and spikes it down with 4 seconds left. The Saints threat is stopped on a fumble recovery by Joe Green, and there's a Saint down on the field. He's getting up.
That time there was a little indecision, seemingly, on where he wanted to throw the football. And by the time he got rid of it, here he is. He's trying. It's a bump and run again. This time they try to go underneath the coverage, and Blunt played it very, very well. But you see Archie's arm. They tugged on it from the right side that time, and as a result, Hayes, number 51, was the guy who made the play on that last fumble by the New Orleans Saints.
Joe Green is credited with the recovery, and so Terry Bradshaw elects to run the clock out, and they'll all head to the locker room with the Saints winners of the first half of this game, 7-3. And very nearly had a 14-3 lead going in, as two close connections were just missed in the end zone. And then subsequently the fumble that cost the Saints possession. They got no field goal drive. But overall, they moved the ball very well, Hank, and proved surprisingly well against the Steelers.
Yes, and here again, you know, the surprising thing is really that the Pittsburgh Steelers have not really expressed very much of a strong pass rush. Archie has had all the time in the world to throw the football, and here again, I hate to belabor the point, but I think any time that he has a chance to throw the ball, he's going to get the ball to the right people. He's done that extremely well today, and will continue to do it if he has time enough to throw the football. We might see a little bit more blitzing in the second half by the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Well, the Steelers got tough when they had to on that play that finally turned the ball over. But the Saints moving the ball down with great precision, throwing the ball very nicely. Archie Manning running those out patterns to Ike Harris deep, throwing well to his backs. Muncie had a couple of big gainers. And Manning has so much poise, they say it takes a long time for a quarterback to get the exposure to NFL defenses where he can read coverages, but Manning certainly has that now. He just stands back there and he knows where he wants to go. He takes a look at every receiver he's got downfield and has made the connection. So we're going to have a football game the whole distance in this one, it looks like. The Saints able to move the ball in the first half against the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Actually, you know, the Pittsburgh team has moved the ball very well against the Saints also, but they made some mistakes that kept them out of a scoring opportunity.
Well, what would you anticipate now, Hank, the Steelers might come out doing? We didn't see Bradshaw thrown so well this year, doing a great deal so far.
Well, really, you know, when you analyze what they tried to do in the first half, they ran the ball very well. They liked the trap. They ran up the middle like you think they would. They ran successfully. They had a pass where they created a fumble situation, and the Saints recovered. But I don't think they'll change very much offensively, except hopefully try to keep away from making big mistakes.
Now, they talk about the emotional factor in football as psychology, and it's got to be difficult for a team like the Steelers with already a 3-game lead in their division to be up every week. But they have to be because everybody's gunning for them.
Yes, and the big thing, you know, when you're a good football team, the one thing that you stress and you have to do, you have to establish a very strong killer instinct. When you have a lead and you have an opportunity to put teams away, you have to take advantage of that. And this is what this team has to develop better as they go along in this season.
The fumble recovery we're going to watch now when Joe Green came up with it on the last offensive play of this half for New Orleans, and Pittsburgh ran out the clock. Here it is. Archie Manning is trapped. The ball's coughed up. Joe Green gets those big hooks on it, and that cost New Orleans a chance, of course, to get points, more points. They are leading the game 7-3 here at halftime. If there's one area of play that has been surprising, it has been the play of the offensive line of the Saints against a very formidable front four of the Pittsburgh Steelers, Hank.
Well, you know, here again, that's a very deceptive thing because Robert Woods was a starting tackle for the New York Jets for 5 years, and so he's a very good football player. Dave LaFari is about 180, a big, strong guard. Fred Sturt played with New England. Yeah, 280. Sturt has played a lot, too, was up at New England, and he's a fine young player. So overall, the only real rookie they have is Taylor, the left tackle, and he's doing a good job. So you really have to give them a lot of credit. And, of course, John Hill is an excellent center and is kind of the hub of that offensive line.
How good do you think New Orleans conceivably can do? Do you think this team is playing above its head now, or could it conceivably go on and have a substantial winning season? Well,
I said before the season I really thought they could have a 6 to 8 season. And so they can go as far as they want to go.
Okay, let's go to Brent Musburger right now at CBS Control in New York. Brent?
On right now is that the Green Bay Packers are setting up a field goal. You're looking live, the final 5 seconds of the first half, Green Bay and Philadelphia. It is right now 7-3. The Eagles are leading the Packers. The Packers have been victimized by a touchdown pass that was called back. Whitehurst to Lofton of 79 yards. Then later in the game, they were punting out from the 1-yard line. McCarron got off a bad snap. The fumble was recovered, and John Shara, the man for all plays for the Philadelphia Eagles, came in to direct the Eagles at quarterback, and on a rollout play, he got into the end zone. Eagles added the extra point. It is now 7-3. So those of you who have watched Pittsburgh and New Orleans so far, you're getting a bonus. The last 5 seconds of the first half, Chester Marco will attempt to kick his second field goal in the first half for Bart Starr. And the Packers again trailing right now, 7-3. This the final 5 seconds. McCarron again the center. This time the snap is perfect. Hooked a bit, though, on the kick. McCarron pulled it a little bit, and it is no good. So Chester Marco misses the field goal as the half runs out. Now, what's going to happen is we are going to break away for a regular halftime commercial. We're going to bring you back to New York, update all the scores, have some highlights, and Jane Kennedy will have a piece on Tom Landry and Don Shula, whom Merv Cross talked to earlier this week about the upcoming doubleheader game on CBS. A beautiful November Sunday, but not too much scoring. Let's check the scoreboard now and get you up to date right away. 7-3. Many of you watching this game in Philadelphia. The rest of you are watching this contest. New Orleans and Pittsburgh, and the Saints have moved the ball. They might have scored at least a field goal, but Archie Manning fumbled it away, and the Steelers alertly pounced on it. The Cardinals are dominating the Giants by 14 points. Atlanta and San Francisco. The 49ers had a sure touchdown pass dropped. Falcons bounced back with a touchdown, 7-3 in the second quarter. Typical Detroit-Minnesota battle in Bloomington, 3-0 right now. The Vikes are ahead. New England has just scored to go ahead of Buffalo 7-3. That game is in the second quarter. Cleveland and Houston, and first Seattle-Chicago, with the Seahawks leading the Bears by a score of 7-3. That is in the second quarter, so the Bears could lose for the 7th straight time. Now, Cleveland and Houston, they are scoreless in the first quarter of that game. And another one that is just underway, Oakland and Kansas City, they are scoreless in the first. And, Jane, what have we got on our doubleheader?
The preceding announcement was brought to you as a public service by the National Football League. And that is the first half breakdown of statistics, eh? We see the Pittsburgh Steelers with 6 first halves, New Orleans with 14. That's a surprise.
Yeah, they're really dominating the game offensively, and really and truly they're throwing the ball so well. Anytime they want to throw the ball, they've had the protection and they've completed passes. I would think that their approach the second half would be to maintain the passing personality and then pass first and run second, but kind of go into the second half with the anticipation of using a passing draw screen personality rather than trying to run the ball on first down and have to throw it on second and third.
Well, Archie Manning completed 9 of 12, and Bradshaw you're looking at hit on 5 of 6 for 63 yards. The longest gainer, a 29-yarder. So both quarterbacks are going to keep that #1 ranking they enjoy, apparently. Right now, we have Larry Anderson dropping back deep for Pittsburgh, as you see Steve Mickemeyer teeing up the ball for New Orleans at his 35-yard line. Total yards in the first half, the Saints had 193 yards against the Steelers, 125. Anderson, the deep man for the Pittsburgh Steelers, as Steve Mickemeyer set to kick the ball off. He hits it downfield, and Anderson at the 5, the 10, he's across the 20, and still Dirk working on the outside. He cuts down to the 22-yard line, and there it'll be 1st and 10 for Pittsburgh. Eric Felton, rookie player, came up to make the play for New Orleans. St. Louis, as you saw, Brent Musburger updating the scores at the half, a surprise 14-0 leader over the New York Giants. Maybe Bud Wilkinson's getting something together there now. You know, they've lost a lot of close games. I've seen them a couple of times, and they were in every game that they've played. Now it's kind of falling together, it looks like, and they could go on from here and really enjoy a good year. team doctor and trainer are talking to Jack Lambert on the Pittsburgh bench. I don't know if he's been shaken up. Hasn't been in the second half. He hasn't been out there yet. First and 10 carry doesn't get much as the Saints defense runs it down. Pat Hughes, outside linebacker on the right side, made the hit. It'll be second down now and 10. No gain. Steelers scored first in this game on a 27-yard field goal by Roy Girella in the first quarter. That was on their first possession. The Saints score came on a Manning to Motti pass the second quarter. That stands now 7-3 New Orleans. Bradshaw swings it out to Franco Harris. And the big guy from Penn State rolls out across the 30 to the 34-yard line. He has a first down for Pittsburgh.
That time here again, it was that delayed pattern to Harris. Webster, number 52, the offensive center, he comes out there in good shape and gets a piece of Merlot. And Franco Harris cuts inside and makes a nice gain. First and 10, Pittsburgh.
Lynn Swan, he is wide to the right. So far today, Swan hasn't caught a pass. He came in as the leading pass receiver in the AFC with 43. Franco Harris breaks tackles at the line of scrimmage. On a first down, he carries the ball out to the 39. He got 5, knocked down by cornerback Maurice Spencer, 29.
He should have been tackled at the line of scrimmage, actually, but, boy, you're not going to tackle him with arm tackles. There's a piece and miss. There's Fetterspiel overrunning the play and tries to slap him down. There's Tommy Myers trying to tackle him high and doesn't succeed, and he picks up about 5 yards on the play. Just great running, strong running by Franco Harris.
St. Louis now leading the Giants 20-0. So the Giants have collapsed. Here is a handoff going right up the middle is Rocky Blyer. First down yardage. He's out to the 48-yard line. Again, Pat Hughes was on the knockdown for the Saints. And Detroit has gone ahead of Minnesota 7-3.
They're just running right at the defense that time and getting good blocking at the point of attack. The right side of the Steeler offense called number 55, Davis, 57, Webster again, and Mullins, Penny, all do a great job of knocking them off the line of scrimmage. First and 10, Pittsburgh.
The Saints lead the game, 7-3. The Steelers are driving on their first possession of the second half. Back to Blyer, and this time Fetterspiel, the middle linebacker, is there to fill the gap, make the knockdown. No gain on the play. It'll be second down at 10.
They've run that counter play 2 times, and both times Joe Fetterspiel, number 58, did a good job of reading the blocks and keeping the play from gaining any kind of yardage. They picked up about a yard and a half on the play.
You have to wonder, Hank, when Bradshaw's going to let one rip to Lynn Swan. We saw him throw long to him earlier, but it was overthrown. Swan did have the cornerback beat.
He gets in right field position. He'll pump it up and get it over the top. He'll try it, I'm sure.
Second and 8 now. He could be looking for Swan here. Bradshaw takes a look. He's going long to Lynn Swan. And the ball is tipped away by Clarence Chapman.
There's a penalty over here on the sideline. I don't know who it was against. We'll find out in just a minute. Some kind of a pass interference infraction, I'm sure. Looks like it's against the New Orleans Saints. We'll see. Yep. Pardon?
It'll now be second down. Well, here's the penalty being stepped off as the ball is being moved down to the 44-yard line. Here's the call.
Illegal contact foul, number 29, defense, first down.
Here's a replay of Lynn Swan's pattern. Let's see if he was illegally bumped more than 5 yards downfield.
No, I think it was Stallworth coming underneath him. He was running a flat enough pattern, and even though the linebacker said, pardon me, it didn't count, doesn't make any difference.
So
they still call it.
On Spencer, and here is a handoff to Franco Harris. A quick slant. He takes the ball down to the New Orleans 40-yard line. Joe Campbell, a second-year defensive end, former #1 draft choice out of Maryland to the Saints. Playing the right end, 73 was on the stop. Franco working hard, durable, fast. Here's another guy. You're talking about Chuck Muncie with his 4.5 speed. Franco Harris is pretty close to that and just as big. It's amazing the ability of some of these athletes.
Yeah, and the great thing about Harris and both Chuck, they get off the ball so quickly and get into the line of scrimmage and beyond the linebacker so fast. Here's play action.
Bradshaw's looking deep. He throws with the ball at the tight end. Grossman, he has the first down. And Randy Grossman, who you don't hear much about, but he's got a couple of the best hands for catching passes of anybody in the league. Makes the reception and charges ahead for a Steeler first down. Hughes again on the stop.
It was a delayed pattern. They fake a rollout to the right side. Grossman kind of blocks to his right and then goes to his left and is wide open. Makes a nice catch and a good run. He knows where he has to go, and he makes the necessary yardage. He's met there by a host of Saint tacklers, namely Ray Brown, number 27. But it's 1st and 10, Pittsburgh.
Alois Grooms, Alex Price, Sterling Moore, and Joe Campbell across the defensive front of New Orleans. Merlo, Fetterspiel, and Hughes backing the line as the Steelers set to break the huddle now with Webster down over the ball at center. Davis and Mullins the guards. Kolb and Ray Penny are the tackles. Steelers trailing but starting to mount a challenge as Bradshaw fires hard. And Lynn Swann had the ball and lost it. It's ruled incomplete. No catch and fumble. Lynn Swann isn't tall. He's 6 feet tall, but he is a spectacular jumper. He is California high jump champion as a boy.
Yeah, you don't see him drop many balls like this. Bradshaw threw it right at the numbers. That's where you like for him to throw it. It's nothing but a stop pattern, turn in. The ball's right at the numbers. You can't throw him any better than that. And he's hit by Ray Brown, 27, and Spencer, 24, and drops the football. Incomplete.
So now
we're seeing two great quarterbacks out here this afternoon.
Well, we are. They're putting on a show. Bradshaw and the Steelers with a 2nd down and 10 coming up at the New Orleans 35. Again, that trap blocking you've talked about is evidence there as the Steelers bust open the Saint defensive front.
Watch Rocky Blyer. But good blocking at the point of attack again. The offensive center, you can't run that play effectively, Don, unless the offensive center, number 52, Webster, does a good job. And both teams have excellent centers, John Hill and Webster.
Bradshaw on 3rd and 4 throws it but too low for Rocky Blyer coming out of the backfield and coming up nicely with the free safety Tom Myers.
That time they had a blitz. Pat Hughes was coming from the backside. He saw him, got rid of the ball before he actually wanted to, and as a result threw it into the ground and fell incomplete.
So it's 4th down and 4 now. It would be a very long field goal for Jarrella, and apparently the Steelers are going to look for the 1st down. So they have 4th down and 4.
Yes, there has been. Another blitz.
Lynn Swann goes up in the air. There's that jumping ability, and Lynn Swann has a 1st down, and Three Rivers Stadium now thunders with a standing ovation. A superb pass-catch combination of Bradshaw to Swann.
That time it was a blitz again. Fetterspiel was coming. I tell you, he was covered well, really, by Chapman, but he just jumped up in the air and made a fantastic catch. Just incredible catch. And he has enough composure to come back down. Clarence Chapman finally makes the tackle along with Ray Brown, but it's 1st and 6 on the 6 for Pittsburgh. A beautiful must play by the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Came out of 4th down. 4th and almost 4, and the Steelers now have it 1st and goal at the 6. Bradshaw's looking. He throws. Ball tipped and caught.
Incredible catch.
Lynn Swann.
That ball was tipped. Had great concentration, and he still came up with a catch. Lynn Swann, number 88. What a beautiful play, a rollout right. The Saints were in good position to make an interception or to make a play, but it was deflected. You see Merlo going to the outside, and Lois Grooms coming in, putting good pressure. Merlo tipped the ball, and Ray Brown is right there to make a play, but the concentration on the part of, there you see Merlo making the tip. Concentration by Lynn Swann is just incredible. He makes the catch, and touchdown, Pittsburgh.
And the Steelers now take a 9-7 lead, looking for a 10-point. Jarrella knuckleballs it up and through. And so, with 9 minutes and 10 seconds left to play in the 3rd quarter here at Three Rivers Stadium, the Steelers drive down the field on their first possession of the 3rd quarter and score. Terry Bradshaw throwing for the touchdown to Lynn Swann, and the Steelers rally back on their first possession of the 3rd period to go ahead 10-7 as Bradshaw hit his 17th touchdown pass. One below his career best for a season. He had 18 one year. That's his best. He's going to surpass that this year. Chandler runs out of bounds with a kickoff return, getting across the 20.
Rich Maudie that time, number 84, got a good block, and it looked like maybe something was going to happen there, but the rest of the coverage was very good, and of course Chandler had to run it out of bounds.
Now the defense cry comes out as the Steelers send out their defensive unit. Archie Manning and the Saints, both quarterbacks have been spectacular. Bradshaw is 9 for 12 in the game for 108 yards, and the touchdown we just saw to Lynn Swan. Manning with equally impressive numbers for even more yardage. Pittsburgh goes to Muncie. Boy, he does have that change of speed.
Penalty on the play.
Blunt and Shell knocked him down, but you can see that enormous ability of Chuck Muncie just to fake and then all of a sudden turn on the heat.
Holding on the Saints. You know, the other great thing about Muncie is the fact that you get him down the sideline, and he's hard to knock off his feet and get knocked out of bounds. A lot of times the defensive back thinks, you know, he's got the angle, it's going to hit him, but he gives him a shot, and he maintains balance and goes right down the sideline. He does that as well as anybody I've ever seen as a running back.
We're going to watch him do it again here.
This is a play that he runs extremely well. He's got the ball in the wrong arm, though, as coaching coming out. He should have it in the left arm away from the pressure. Now he's changing it, puts it on the left side, whereby he can use the shoulder. You see, if he kept the ball on the other side, he couldn't have used the shoulder because had he been hit, the ball could have been popped out, and as a result, it's bad technique. But he changed the ball. Here
Holding, number 39, offense, first down.
To Bradshaw and Mr. Swan, an all-pro combination, talking things over on the Steelers sideline. Their pass-catch combination just gave the Steelers back the lead after they trailed at the half 7-3. They now lead 10-7. 8:55 to play in the third quarter. And it's 1st and 20 after the holding call against New Orleans.
Well, their plan is very obvious. They still want to run to the left as much as they possibly can when they do run, but they've thrown the ball so successfully. The draw, the trap, the screen, that kind of thing should be very effective.
Now the Steeler defense starts to play football. Dwight White submarines the offensive blocking. Lauren Taves comes in with him.
They're not going to beat this Pittsburgh team running the football down. They're going to beat them with a forward pass. And, of course, it's sticky here because they got bad field position. And I'm sure once they get some breathing room, they'll pump the ball up and get it up in the air again. But this is the way they're going to beat Pittsburgh. They're not going to beat them running the football.
Overall, they're number 1 in the AFC in defense. They're 2nd in the conference against the rush. And they're 5th against the pass. But overall, they grade out as the number 1 defense in the American Conference. And they've not lost in the last 10 times to an NFC team here at Pittsburgh. Last team to beat them at Pittsburgh was the Rams back in 1971.
Keep changing the look that time. The tight end should be wide open.
Boy, Henry Childs living daringly as he turned his back to that defense coming up. And a fine defensive play breaks the play up and very nearly results in an interception.
He was wide open. They had a double coverage on the outside, and he was wide open getting down the middle. Watch him come off the line of scrimmage. He's open all this time. Watch him once he gets by the linebacker, but the ball is just a little bit late. And the defensive back really does a great job of making a play on that particular inside move. Tony Dungy, number 21, made the play.
So Manning now with the pressure on him, 3rd and 19, and that Steeler defense set to come full speed. As Manning takes the deep drop, and here come the Steelers. He swings it out to Muncie. He outruns Lambert. Stays in bounds, but he's well short of a first down. He got 9 yards on the play, but is going to bring up 4th down now, and the Saints will have to punt the ball back to the Steelers as Ron Johnson, the rookie cornerback, made the hit. Halftime score coming in. The Cardinals looking for their 2nd victory and well on their way to it, it would appear, leading the Giants 20-0. Giants were talking wild card until this week. Detroit Lions up by a surprise score, 7-3 over the Vikings at the half. Minnesota coming off consecutive back-to-back wins now over Green Bay and Dallas by impressive scores. Blanchard just kicked it way over the return man, and Theo Bell finally caught it out on Willie Mays over the shoulder, and the coverage is good by Maudie, who makes the knockdown. He's the guy that caught the touchdown pass for New Orleans for their only score. And the Steelers go back on offense as they start to gear up now in the third quarter. Their first possession, they took it right down the field. Ultimately took it in for a touchdown. And now they'll try to make it go again as the Steelers are holding to a 10-7 lead with 7:16 to play in the third quarter. That was a 60-yard punt by Blanchard. Lots of football next Sunday on CBS. Doubleheader day. First games include the Giants and the Redskins at Washington, Tampa Bay at Detroit, Atlanta at New Orleans. Chicago goes against the Vikings at Bloomington, Minnesota. Then the doubleheader games. Dallas against the surprising Green Bay Packers. And the Cardinals in San Francisco. Consult your local listing for the games and times in your area. Some cities will see only a single game due to the NFL blackout policy. And, of course, Brett, Jane, and Irv, half hour before kickoff with an update on all the action around the league. And right now, Bradshaw takes a look to throw. Timing pattern, Lynn Swann intercepted. Clarence Chapman outran Lynn Swann to the ball, and the Saints have the football at the 46-yard line, their own, and they'll go back on offense with excellent field position, trailing by but 3 points.
They tried to throw the ball on the left side to Stallworth on a square and up. Maurice Spencer on the other side did a good job, number 29. He went to the right side and really threw it very poorly, and that's why the ball was intercepted. So let's see if he pumps the ball up on first down, Don, and see what he does here with good field position on 1st and 10.
The interception by Clarence Chapman giving the Saints that good field position. Here comes Ike Harris in motion. He's cut some nice ones today in the first half. And Manning is going to take a look at that play-action throw, and he's got Henry Childs as tight end for a first down. You talked about Henry Childs at the outset, Hank, as a premier tight end. He doesn't get a lot of press, but he sure gets open.
Oh, he's as good as anybody in the league. It's a play-action pass, a good call. Against the zone defense, the tight end's got to be open. There's no way you can cover him the way they're trying to play zone coverages. And I alluded to this early in the game, but Henry Childs that time was wide open, and a good call on 1st and 10 by Archie Manning.
Originally drafted in the 5th round, Henry Childs went to Atlanta that year in 1974. Joined the Saints that same season as a free agent. So the Saints now starting them out of challenge.
Here's that same play they started the game with.
Timing pattern, they're going to Chuck Muncie. Lauren Taves, the outside linebacker, staying right with him. Muncie could not get to the ball. I think Manning wisely put it out of reach.
Yes, the last time they did that with the same fake, they hit Tinker Owens on a stop pattern. He was wide open. This time he ran deep, and they tried to swing Chuck Muncie behind him, but the linebacker Taves, 51, did a good job of covering, and Archie very wisely threw the ball over the top and incomplete.
Manning has now thrown the ball 15 times in the game, has completed 11 for 172 yards and 1 touchdown. The Saints only scored a Rich Maudie, and he's been intercepted once. That's by Jack Lambert.
The linebackers are getting good depth. It'll be a good opportunity for him to get the ball to the back some, too. This time they're in a bump and run. See if Archie tries to change the ball. It's a blitz. It's a blitz, and they're trying to throw the ball up on top.
Oh, very close to a flag on Shell, who was covering Childs, and Childs is sure looking for one, but none was forthcoming.
Henry Childs, that time they were blitzing. Archie threw the ball to Henry Childs, who was open. It was definitely pass interference, and the official didn't call it. There was no question about it. It was definitely pass interference.
No. So the Steelers defense gets a very big break. That would have been an automatic first down for the Saints, says Dick Nolan. I'm sure not very happy with that development. Saints will now have the ball 3rd down and 10. You recall that go-ahead touchdown drive was highlighted by a 4th down pass by Bradshaw, 4th and 4, that went all the way down to the 5-yard line, where it was goal for the Pittsburgh Steelers with a first down. They subsequently hit Lynn Swann for the touchdown.
The outside receiver, they're doubling again this time. This time they're throwing deep. Oh, it's a bad throw.
Mel Blunt wanted it. Tony Dungy had it. Blunt came in front of him and blew an interception.
Blunt actually tried to intercept the ball from Dungy. It would have been a very easy interception, but Archie throws the ball downfield a little bit too long, and you see Blunt and Dungy both there to make the play. Either one of them make the catch, and now it's a 4th down situation for the Saints.
And so the Saints now come out of the huddle, setting for a long field goal attempt. The holder is Blanchard. He can throw the football. 51-yard attempt by Nickema. He can kick it that far.
He's got a good strong leg. If he gets the ball up, get the flats up, he might get it through there.
He's got it long enough. But unfortunately for the Saints, he does not have it through the uprights. And so it goes as a long touchback. No, not really. It goes back to the line of scrimmage on the play, so it'll come outside the 20. And it'll be 1st and 10 there for the Pittsburgh Steelers as they hold to a 10-7 lead. We have 5:56 left to play in the 3rd period. We'll be back in a moment. And here are some other scores coming in from around the league. The Philadelphia Eagles holding the 7-3 lead over the Green Bay Packers at Veterans Stadium. The Cardinals with a halftime lead and decided advantage 20-0 over the Giants. Atlanta leading San Francisco in the 2nd quarter 7-3. Detroit up over Minnesota at the half at Bloomington, Minnesota 7-3. And New England, a team that's really starting to cook, leading the Buffalo Bills 14-3. Houston and Cleveland scoreless in the 1st quarter. This is Don Crickey with Hank Stram, Three River Stadium, Pittsburgh. Steelers have the ball in the lead 10-7. Saints get tough. Saints have not given up many points this year, an improving defense. They've given up a total now of 27 points over their last 3 victories, 3 straight victories. 10 points here to the Steelers today. They've had trouble defending against the run, though, overall. That's been their one area they've had the problem with. Giving up yardage to the run. Giving up a lot of yardage, but not that many points. The Saints defense, that bend but doesn't break theorem holding here. Bradshaw fires. Lynn Swann catches, 48-yard line, 1st down Pittsburgh. Clarence Chapman hit him, the man who intercepted a little bit earlier for New Orleans.
That time they had a slot to the right with Swann, Stallworth on the same side. The backs go to the opposite direction. Bradshaw sets up nicely and throws the ball again right at the numbers on a stop pattern right in front of Clarence Chapman, number 24, and it's good for a 1st down.
Maurice Spencer's the cornerback to the right side for New Orleans. Clarence Chapman to the left. He's up against All-Pro Lynn Swann. And Stallworth on the other flank for Pittsburgh's just about as good. Franco Harris change of pace move, and Harris breaks tackles, goes out of bounds at the Saint 45-yard line. Tom Myers running him out. Franco Harris of the Pittsburgh Steelers, one of the great backs in the history of the game. 7,000 yards in 7 seasons in the NFL, and he's going to play a lot more. Durable, fast, catches the ball, blocks.
John Cobb that time did a good job on the defensive right end. Joe Campbell, number 73, that made that run possible.
Going to be 2nd down and about 3. Harris has 42 yards and 10 carries today. And over 700 for the season. Back to Franco Harris, and again hit at the line of scrimmage. He spins away and comes very close to a 1st down. Pat Hughes finally threw him down. You look at sold out Three River Stadium here in Pittsburgh. Somebody asked Art Rooney, the 78-year-old president of the Steelers, it's still as big a thrill winning these days as it used to be in the early days of the NFL. He said, big thrill in the early days wasn't winning, it was meeting the payroll on Monday.
And winning's a big thrill. I don't care when you play, 30 years ago, today, 15 years ago, whenever you win, it's always a big thrill.
There is Chuck Noll now in his 10th year as the head coach of the Steelers. His first season, 1969. They won 1 game, lost 13. They subsequently drafted Terry Bradshaw number 1 in the next draft. And it was very few years later that they had consecutive Super Bowl rings to wear.
And they really put together one of the outstanding football teams in the National Football League, which is very obvious. You don't win by accident. You win with people, and this is exactly what these people are doing.
Noll was an assistant coach at San Diego and Baltimore before coming to Pittsburgh in '69. 3rd down and inches for the Steelers. 43-yard line in New Orleans. Franco Harris gets that and a whole lot more, and had he not been tripped, he might have gone a long way. Tommy Myers saved a big gainer.
It was just a straight-ahead shot. Good blocking on the part of the left tackle, Cobb, and Davis, the left guard. They ran at Derlin Moore that time, and Joe Campbell, and did a good job of making yardage on the play. 1st and 10, Pittsburgh.
Our spotter, Bernie McGinley, very close to the Steeler organization, says that the general consensus seems to be, while they don't like to talk about it, this could very definitely be a team just every bit as good as the 2 teams that won Super Bowls. Staying healthy, as Shula's always said, is such a vital aspect to winning. Going the distance. Bradshaw, with an arm like a cannon, guns the ball with a flick of the wrist, 25 yards straight downfield, and Blyer catches it coming back for a first down.
Boy, Blyer did a good job of coming back.
Look at him throw this, though.
Yeah, watch it. And he doesn't.
What an arm.
And he doesn't throw it off on balance very well either that time. He's going to his left. The important thing, the thing that made that play successful was the fact that Rocky Blyer had the presence to come right back for the ball, and he caught it right off the turf. 1st and 10, Pittsburgh.
So the Steelers start to get their act together here in the third quarter. Their first possession, they drove for a touchdown. Now they could be moving towards another score as Bradshaw looks. He throws. Man is open. Grossman, who has just spectacular hands, and Grossman catches the ball at the 11. They say if it's near Grossman, he's going to get it.
Boy, he sucked that ball right up like he had vacuum sweepers on his hands. I don't know how he caught that one that time because it was low and he was running to the right. Watch him. And actually the coverage was not bad by Ray Brown, number 27. And actually, if you're going to throw the ball, the guy that you want to find in that secondary is Ray Brown, 27. They located him that time and had a man-for-man situation, 1st and 10, Pittsburgh. Looks like they're going to run to the left. Let's see what they do.
Run to the left. And pretty well as they get the ball down close to the 5. Bradshaw's now thrown 16 for the Steelers. It's completed 12 for 147 yards. 1 touchdown, 1 interception. And a 10-7 lead right now for Pittsburgh as the third quarter shows 2:30 to play in it and the clock running. 2nd down and 5 coming up now for the Steelers. They conceivably could get another first down in this drive. They have to advance the ball to the 1 to do that.
Looks like they were going to run right this time. Let's see if they do. Yep.
Quarterback's going to run right. He's going to look into the end zone. And Joe Fettersfield had a gift there but couldn't hold on. Very nearly an interception as Bradshaw threw a very errant pass.
Yes, he did. As a rollout to the right, it was very obvious they were going to do something to the right to where their backs cheated. Stallworth fell in the end zone. That's who he was trying to throw the ball to, and Fettersfield made a good play and really had a good chance to intercept that ball.
Bradshaw is the only quarterback in the NFL who's thrown at least 1 touchdown pass in every game this season. And he's also been a great third down quarterback, passing for over 700 yards on third downs this season. Sidney Thornton's in the game. Here's a bull of a back out of Northwest Louisiana, number 38. He leads the blocking as Franco Harris pushes and drives and gets himself down to the 3-yard line. Derlin Moore knocked him down. A lot of strong people out there. Your Kansas City teams, Hank, were some of the first to really go into very extensive weight training. Now everybody's doing that. You got to be strong to play this game.
Yes, and of course the great thing about it is it develops players, it develops strength, and really permits them to play an overextended period of time. We started our program in 1963 and had off-season programs, but during the 5-year period that we won so much, Don, we never had one major operation of any kind, which is a great tribute to the fact that we use weights in development. Alvin Roy did a great job for us in that respect.
Right now, Jarrell is going to try a field goal with Colquitt holding. Got plenty of distance, and Jarrell, who came into the game hitting 7 of 14 field goal tries, is 2 for 2 today, and the Steelers extend their lead to 13-7. So with 1 minute and 22 seconds left to play in the third quarter here at Three Rivers Stadium in Pittsburgh, the Pittsburgh Steelers, after trailing at the half 7-3, now lead the New Orleans Saints 13-7. And some interesting events to take place on Tuesday. We remind you to cast your vote and then cast your lot with television's top election team. Walter Cronkite heads the ticket as anchorman, while Harry Reisner, Roger Mudd, Dan Rather, Leslie Stahl, and Bruce Morton bring you regional results from their posts around the nation. And Eric Severide sizes up the election picture with his penetrating analysis. That's election coverage with Walter Cronkite and the CBS team Tuesday night. Getting set to kick the ball off from the 35-yard line, Roy Gerella, as the Steelers just went 62 yards in 10 plays, using 4.5 minutes of the clock. A field goal from 21 yards out. Wes Chandler standing into the end zone in the middle there for New Orleans. He served notice the first preseason game he played in against, I guess it was the Eagles down in Mexico City. Took one back the distance. Ken Stabler has just thrown a touchdown pass for Raymond Chester. Oakland leads Kansas City 7-0. Chandler will return this one. Nope.
I was surprised at that move. Normally the rule is if the ball is about 3 yards deep, you still try to run it out of there. That time the ball was just about 2 yards deep, and surprisingly he downed the ball in the end zone and elected to take it out to the 20.
Talk about percentages in playing football. I guess the computer shows if you look at all the kickoff returns, that's the breakdown, 3 yards deep.
Yeah, but it all depends on who's running the ball back. Yeah, I think anytime you have a Chandler, you want to make sure he runs it as much as possible, and it's surprising that he didn't bring it out that time.
Yeah, like the guy once wrote, the X's and O's work if some of the O's are O.J. Simpsons and some of the X's are Bob Lillies or whoever.
Exactly right. Play action on first down.
Manning throws. He's got a man open. Wes Chandler, the acrobat from Florida, leaping way up into the air. Knocked down hard by Mel Blount, but Wes Chandler catches a big one for the Saints, and trailing by 6, they have the ball on the Pittsburgh side of the field.
That's the great thing again about Archie Manning and Terry Bradshaw. Look at, he's in trouble. He's running away from Tays, who was blitzing on the play, number 51, and he throws the ball right on the money, right at the numbers. Mel Blount, 47, got a lot of real estate to cover Wes Chandler, and it's very difficult to do. 1st and 10. Saints, but they got to throw the ball. They got to keep it pumped up and throw the ball if they expect to win this football game.
Wes Chandler, number 89, comes out of the huddle. He's got a lot of Lynn Swann in him. About the same size and the same ability to go to the moon to get the ball. Here comes Muncy running hard, and Muncy crashes inside and still going. Chuck Muncy wants it. He got about 10. Lambert knocked him down along with Wagner, but the Saints are moving now late in the 3rd quarter, trailing by 6.
Just a plain vanilla sweep from the I formation. Tony Galbraith out in front, Sturt out in front. Galbraith gets a good block out in front. But watch Muncy, watch him run through traffic, drag people, but he's big and strong and very fast and hard to get knocked off his feet.
Archie Manning is now 12 for 19, throwing the ball for 204 yards. Minnesota's come back to lead Detroit 10-7. 2nd down and inches for New Orleans. Muncy's carry was good for over 9 yards, but not quite 10. And here comes Galbraith. He's got the first down for the Saints. They go to the 36-yard line. Right.
We'll stay right up here in the press box and do the interviews in the sideline? Oh, okay.
This is Don Criqui with Hank Stram back at Three River Stadium in Pittsburgh. The Steelers hold to a 13-7 lead as we head into the 4th quarter of play. The Saints are driving now, and there's the man whose right arm has led the way for them this season and this day, Archie Manning, as the Saints will come out of the huddle with the ball 1st and 10 at the Steelers 36.
As I mentioned earlier, this would be a good time for another pass or a draw play possibly, but I think that personality of draw, screen, trap, throw the ball is going to be very effective for the Saints. They're not going to move the ball that well offensively running the ball. They will on occasions a little bit running to the left, but they got to win the game throwing the football and then going to the run.
Chuck Muncy. Oh, he breaks it. Chuck Muncy running hard, but the penalty marker flies in.
Looks like a holding penalty on either Galbraith. It looks like it's Galbraith, 34. I think that's who they called it on.
There is the hold signal, so the good run by Muncy comes back, but in truth, the good run could have been initiated by the hold. Gets you around the corner. Tony Galbraith, head bowed. He has no reason to bow, though. He's done a big job for the Saints. Been as important as just about any player they have this season. Atlanta now leading the 49ers 14-3. Bartkowski
holding, number 34, offense, first down.
Only two opponents this season have scored 20 or more points versus the Saints. Minnesota with 24 as tops, but of course New Orleans won that game. And Pittsburgh has given up the fewest yards in the AFC, but has given up 24 points in the last two games.
Ike Harris has a lot of room over here on Ron Johnson. There it is.
On Harris. He's open, though.
Oh, he was wide open.
And he is separated by a hard hit from Ron Johnson, who's roundly congratulated by Jack Lambert, and Ike Harris is down.
Okay, here we go. Archie Manning back in the pocket. Ron Johnson, the rookie, number 29, the left corner, gave Ike Harris a lot of room. He was wide open. Archie threw it just a little bit high, but he had his hands on it, should have made the catch. It would have been a tough catch, but he should have caught it because he had an opportunity to make the reception.
So Ike Harris is attended to, shaken up on the plane. We'll be back. The Saints in white, gold, and black break the huddle, trailing 13-7. Fourth quarter, outset of it. 2nd and 17 after the holding call.
They're going to run to the right, it looks like, or they're going to... He changed the play on the line of scrimmage because it looked like it was going to be a blitz. Galbraith is wide open.
And he has the ball down to the 34-yard line, so he got back the penalty yardage and a couple more. But it's going to bring up 3rd down and long. It'll be 3rd and about 8. Ron Johnson out of Eastern Michigan, the #1 draft choice of the Steelers, was there to make the play. He stepped right in as a starter. Steelers traded one of their starting safeties from last season. Another had to retire because of illness. So Johnson was called on to move right in, and they've been pleased with him. Now Lawrence Hayes comes into the game. Dennis Winston also comes in, and the Steelers might call a timeout. They're not quite set to a line on defense. They want to talk it over.
That's a very smart move. I think any time that you have indecision and you have a question and you're not sure, why, you better call a timeout to make sure that you get it straightened out.
Sometimes late in the game you kind of wish you had it back. But
yeah, but...
This is coming home for Dick Nolan. He was born in Pittsburgh. And across the way, Chuck Noll, with his team holding to a 6-point lead, takes a look out to see what the Steeler defense will do now on a 3rd and 9 play coming up for New Orleans.
They're blitzing on the play. He gets the ball to Henry Childs.
Great throw by Manning, and Childs is open. He's not done yet. He's down to the 5-yard line. Donnie Shell knocks him down. So again, Manning comes up with the big 3rd down play.
There again, he spotted the blitz, and you can't advertise this blitz to Archie Manning because he's going to spot it. He got the ball right just perfectly. Henry Childs, you're not going to cover him. Wagner, number 23, is trying to cover him, does a poor job of tackling him, and he fights his way through the traffic and goes down further for a big gain and a 1st down for the New Orleans Saints. But a great illustration of what a great receiver Henry Childs is.
I'll tell you one thing, when Childs catches it, he's not done. He got 29 yards on the reception, and the Saints now challenged to tie the game, and they get it in and get the extra point, they go ahead. Galbraith,
he's in.
Touchdown, New Orleans. The game is tied at 13. And it's up to Nicolai now to put the extra point up that could give the Saints the lead here in the 4th quarter.
It's a straight-ahead thrust, a blunt play that you call it sometimes, where you just go straight ahead with all the blocking. The lead back blocks on the play. Tony Galbraith jumps to the outside. He reads the block. Here it is from behind the backfield. Galbraith running to his left. He's got the ball in the wrong arm. He should have in his left arm. But it's good for distance, and Chuck Muncie out in front does a great job of blocking Mel Blunt, number 47.
Well, you've got to say something about Dick Stanfield, the offensive line coach, who was one of the great players ever in the NFL, and he has tied this group together.
Yes, he has. He's done a great job with the offensive line. He's one of the very finest in the business.
And the Saints have come back to take the lead in the 4th period. We're going to be back with a lot more football. The preceding announcement was brought to you as a public service by the National Football League. 3 of the Saints' 5 victories this season have come on the road, and right now they're ahead in the 4th quarter against the Pittsburgh Steelers. But Bradshaw has moved the Steelers when he's had to, and right now they get the ball back, and here's Larry Anderson. Across the 20, a short kickoff. Uh-oh! Anderson is gone! Oh, they get him. Eric Felton got him. Anderson had an open road, and Felton came out of nowhere. Eric Felton, the rookie defensive back, number 20. He just exploded through the opening as they cracked the Saint pursuit, and Felton saved a touchdown.
Boy, he had some good running room here, a good hole. There you see him go through the cavity. You see Mickemeyer overrun the play.
Track meet right now, and Felton wins.
Felton really came from no place to make that tackle. Great effort by Eric Felton, number 20.
Rocky Blyer turns upfield and works for 2 tough yards. Eric Felton, a 5th-round draft choice out of Texas Tech. They list him as 4.6 speed. I want to tell you one thing. That's the quickest 4.6 that's ever played the game right there.
He looked like 4.1 that time.
Guess he was chasing 4.4 speed or 4.5.
Looked like there's a big brown spot on the field there where he singed the turf. He was ready flying.
And now it's 2nd and 8 Steelers. New Orleans leads the game 14-13. 12:40 to play in the game. Blyer breaks it open, and Rocky Blyer's inside the 20. He has the first down for the Steelers.
They haven't had much success against the Saints running sideways, but they really do a great job of running at the defense, right at it. That time it was a sucker play. They pulled the guard to the right side. Alex Price, number 75, went with the pulling guard. He went right through a gapping hole and made the necessary yardage and then some for the first down.
So the Steelers trailing by a point, challenging down the 4th quarter. They go to the run again. This time it is Franco Harris bringing the ball down to the Saint 15-yard line. Joe Fettersfield, the middle linebacker, met him. There are the comparative quarterback statistics. Manning throwing for 244 yards. Bradshaw for 147, each for a touchdown. Lynn Swan, that graceful stride, literally bounces out to the right flank to a line as a wide receiver there. John Starworth is to the left. Harris spins off tacklers. Great football, and it looks like the Steelers have it.
Don Reese, number 60, was in the play, made the initial contact along with Pat Hughes, number 54. It's a straight-ahead thrust. Franco Harris sees the hole, runs into a pile, does some spinning, but the ball is jarred loose. It looked like it was jarred loose there by 74, Derlin Moore. Don Reese made a good play, and so did Pat Hughes, 54.
And they credit Jerry Mullins with the fumble recovery. Rocky Blyer has now run for 71 yards and 14 carries for Pittsburgh. Bradshaw takes a look on 3rd down. Aaron Chapman gets away with a close call on interference against Lynn Swan, and he wants to talk about it, does Lynn Swan.
Yeah, that time they balanced it out. The other time, Henry Childs was interfered with. This time, Swan definitely was interfered with, but didn't call either one.
Very important development here now. Girella comes out to try a field goal. He has hit from 27 and 21 yards. This will be a 31-yard attempt. It would give New Orleans Pittsburgh a 2-point advantage, and of course a field goal could conceivably win the game for New Orleans later. We have a lot of time left, 10:47. Hits the upright, it's no good. And the jubilant New Orleans Saints go off the field, jumping up and down as the Steelers drive but do not score, and New Orleans will have the ball when we come back, leading the game 14-13 with 10:43 to play. Now a replay of Girella's field goal try. There it is up. And whoop, he hits the upright. Back it goes. Touchback. No field goal, no points. Saints continue to lead, and they now have the ball back.
Let's see what they do here on 1st down, whether they run to the left. Wes Chandler's in the ball game, 89, along with Ike Harris, Chuck Muncie, or whether they throw the football.
Robin Cole is now in backing the line as one of the 3 for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Manning getting that Steeler defense jumpy, going with a long count. Pittsburgh quickly shuts down the New Orleans offense. Little or no gain, ball just across the 20-yard line.
They really haven't made any yardage, so to speak, of it all, running right at the defense, right up the middle. They made some running to their left. But, of course, the big weapon has been the forward pass, and they've done that extremely well.
New Orleans has been a fourth-quarter team, as you see. They outscored their opposition in the fourth quarter. Now Manning brings his team out of the huddle. Wesley Chandler, who caught that big third down play late in the third quarter. It's wide to the left. Mike Harris is wide to the right. Galbraith runs on what was a touchdown carry earlier, the same play. This time the Steelers fired up on defense, shut it right down. L.C. Greenwood was on the tackle. Minnesota has now gone ahead of Detroit, 17-7. So it's third down and 9 for New Orleans, and the Steelers, conceivably, if they hold here, will get the ball back on a punt in good field position with much time remaining, 9:35 and the clock running, fourth quarter. New Orleans 14, Pittsburgh 13. Extra defensive back in for the Steelers and Tony Dungy.
Tony Galbraith is wide open.
And he's got it for a first down for New Orleans, and he's all the way out to the 45-yard line. A big, big gainer. 25-yard gain for New Orleans.
Tony Galbraith goes inside of the tight end's release and is wide open coming across. There you see him. A linebacker trying to cover him. Can't do it. And Wagner, number 23, finally makes a tackle, but the Saints are out of the trouble area. Have a good opportunity here. First and 10 on the 45-yard line. And here again, Archie Manning hit the right guy, and the offensive line continue to do a good job. The pass rush for the Pittsburgh Steelers is practically nil.
And Manning has capitalized 268 yards passing. The Saints leading by 1, and now with the drive going at the 45. First and 10. Manning's going to look again. Childs is open. Caught by Henry Childs after it was tipped by Jack Ham.
Yes, it was a tip ball, Don. You're right. It was a tip ball, but the concentration span again of Henry Childs is just terrific. Watch him. He pops open. The ball is deflected there by Jack Ham, number 59. Watch Jack Ham reach high for the ball, deflects it, just barely tips it, but Henry Childs still manages to make the reception. First and 10, New Orleans.
This is some good football game. We've got 7:50 to play in it. Pitch back goes. Here comes Muncy. Oh, what a lick put on him. L.C. Greenwood from Arkansas A&M, now in his 10th year, 6'6", 250. He came flying across and really buried Chuck Muncy. Greenwood slow getting up.
Henry Childs 5 for 80 yards in this game so far, but I keep repeating it, but I mean it sincerely. I don't think there's a finer tight end in professional football than Henry Childs.
Well, he's been a great one today. Really all season long. He has 32 receptions on the year for New Orleans, 5 today. Second down and 8 now for the Saints. Follow the 35-yard line of Pittsburgh. Saints lead by a point in the fourth quarter, 14-13. Muncy. Shell came up to Phil nicely. There was room for Chuck Muncy to go had he eluded Donnie Shell.
Yeah, there was a blitz that time. Donnie Shell, number 31. It's a straight ahead shot again. There you see him, 31.
190 hitting the 235, sacrificing his body for love of the game. We have to have some young men, don't we, Hank?
That's right. Red-blooded young people who will make those sacrifices.
Third down now for New Orleans. Third and 8. 35-yard line of Pittsburgh.
Good chance for him to hit Ike Harris in an outside pattern again. No, they're running a sweep.
And Muncy is upended by Ron Johnson, and so the Steeler defense holds, and it's a very long field goal. I think we're going to see Blanchard come out and try an angle of punt. Fourth down coming up. They're a little slow sending out the kicking unit they're going to send out. Of course, a field goal, if it ever went the distance, would be a big, big event. Now they're sending Blanchard out. Here comes Mickemeyer. Blanchard's coming also, but he's the holder in this case. Well, we've seen Mickemeyer hit it distance-wise from this far out earlier, but he's a little bit wide. No question he has the range to hit it this far. And, of course, if he should, it would give the Saints a 4-point lead, and Steelers would have to score a touchdown to go ahead. Right now, New Orleans are leading 14-13. A 50-yard attempt is not going to get there.
Not enough steam.
So Steelers will take over what was the line of scrimmage, and that is their 33-yard line. So they have relatively good field position. 5.5 minutes to play in the game.
That's where they miss a fine kicker like Rich Zarro. Rich has a very strong leg and is very effective from that distance.
60 Minutes kicks off television's top Sunday night lineup with more fascinating stories. Then Archie Bunker gets the shock of his life when he finds out who his bedfellow is. More laughs follow with Alice. Then it's the fast-moving drama Kaz. Red-hot action of Dallas tonight on CBS. Swing pass to Franco Harris. Reese hit him as hard as he could. Harris moved right off and moved ahead. Not too much yardage. Jim Merlo finally finished off Franco Harris on the play.
Actually, it was the outside receiver. You saw the two down. Yeah, it was Stallworth, but it was a quick screen. And the reason the play didn't succeed was the fact that he didn't throw the ball well at all. It was way too low. Didn't throw it at the numbers. And if you don't throw it at the numbers, there's no way this play is going to succeed, because by the time you get readjusted and get back up and try to make yardage, the defense is there waiting for you.
Live action now. 2nd down and 8. Bradshaw guns it, and down with the ball is Franco Harris out to the 40-yard line. Still short of a first down. A very big 3rd down now coming up for Pittsburgh. 4:40 left to play in the game. Steelers with the ball. 3rd down and 4 coming up at their 40.
Jim Merlo that time, number 57, made a good open field tackle on Franco Harris, number 32.
Steelers have had 10 previous 3rd downs, have converted 5 for first downs. John Stallworth wide to the left. Lynn Swan moves out to the right flank. Bradshaw takes a drop. They give him time. Now he throws. It's caught by Randy Grossman for a first down. Grossman still going. He's inside the 40. And Grossman with a big catch, and the subsequent run with the ball has it advanced to the 38-yard line of New Orleans.
They fail there again. Watch again this time. The guy they want to do business on one-on-one is number 27. There he is. Merlo's out there, tries to make a play. But there you see Grossman, number 84, doing a good job on Ray Brown, number 27, who finally made the tackle.
3:35 to play in the game. Clock running. Saints 14, Steelers 13. 1st and 10 Steelers. Flyer crashing ahead. He's ahead for 8 yards, 9 yards. He's down to the 29-yard line. Myers and Brown, the safeties, knocked him down. Cleveland leading Houston 7-0. First quarter of play. Ryan Sipe with a touchdown run, the Cleveland quarterback. Bradshaw, you see his statistics, 15 and 21, 176 yards. Picked off once, threw for 1 touchdown. Flyer again. Comes off a tackle behind the line of scrimmage, and Derlin Moore finally knocks him down.
Alex Price had a shot of him in the backfield, got good contact, but didn't get his arms around the ball carrier. Rocky Blair fought through the arms and through the traffic and made the necessary yardage, made the first down. 1st and 10 Pittsburgh. I mentioned earlier, these two backs you're not going to knock down or stop with just an arm tackle. You got to really wrap them around there, squeeze them tight, and knock them down, or else they're going to make yardage after they get hit at the line of scrimmage.
The Steelers, a great pressure team, headed to the playoffs for a 7th consecutive year. 1st and 10, but they trail by 1. Here comes Flyer again, puts his head down and drives to the 24. He got 3. And time becoming very much a factor now. 2 minutes and 30 seconds to play in the clock running.
There's another trap play, but they don't get the trap done. It was cross blocking in the middle area. Defense does a good job that time of containing the run. Rocky Blair, and now is 2nd and about 8. 2nd and 7 to be specific.
And Flyer deployed to the left in the blocker. Bradshaw takes a look. He throws. Too much on it. Lynn Swan turning out at the football. It's incomplete. It'll be 3rd down and 8. Another big 3rd down now. The clock is stopped with 1:59 to play, and we'll have a warning given to both benches, advising them of the amount of time to play and a timeout on the field.
Clarence Chapman that time, number 24, really did a good job on the play, and Jim Merlo helped by getting good depth, number 57, that made him throw the ball poorly.
I don't know who that is, but he's trying to put something on New Orleans. Right now, the Saints are holding to a 14-13 lead. We have 1:59 left to play in the game. Steelers with the ball, trailing by a point. big down. 3rd down and 7 coming up at the Saint 25. Big rush. Bradshaw gets it away. Blyer has it. Rocky Blyer goes in for a touchdown. John Stallworth, the wide receiver, screened off a New Orleans defensive back with a perfect block that let Blyer go in. Let's watch it again now. Here is Bradshaw. The rush is heavy. The blitz is on. Hughes was coming. Blyer makes the reception. Now you'll see Stallworth get in the way. That is the end of defensive back and into the end zone, number 20. Rocky Blyer, the Pittsburgh Steelers, and Pittsburgh has the lead 19-14. And here's Girella, ready to try to point after. 1:51 left to play in the game. If he makes this, it'll be a 6-point lead for Pittsburgh. The Saints, if they can come down and score and hit the extra point, could win the game. This could be a game right to the final gun. And here is the extra point up and good. So the Steelers make the big play when they have to make the big play, and they come back to take the lead, coming from behind twice in this game. We'll be back with the Saints getting the ball in a moment. The Steelers just went 67 yards in 8 plays. 3 minutes and 42 seconds of the 4th quarter clock elapsed during that drive. Hank Stram has gone down to the field. He'll be talking to some of the victors as the game winds out. We have 1:51 left to go, and Girella ready to kick off now for Pittsburgh. Wes Chandler standing in the New Orleans end zone. He's the guy the Saints would like to see get the ball. To either side of him, we have Rich Maudie on one side for New Orleans. And also back there for the Saints is Jack Holmes, a big power back, a rookie out of Texas Southern. Running with the ball, Rocky Blyer has gained 85 yards and 18 carries. Catching the ball, he has gained 46 yards, and the touchdown you saw from 25 yards out on 3 carries, on 3 receptions, 3 for 46 and a touchdown. See if Girella, they want to drive it deep. Fielded by an up-back, Don Schwartz, a rookie. He's across the 35, and Schwartz gets out to the 42-yard line, and penalty markers go down. A very costly clip by the Saints, if that's what the call is. Saints would have had fine field position to start this drive with 1:45 now remaining, and there is the penalty. Clipping against New Orleans, so from the 42, they'll be marked back. Let's watch once again the Terry Bradshaw throw to Rocky Blyer, resulting in the go-ahead touchdown for Pittsburgh. Drops it out in the flat. Here comes Blyer, turning upfield.
On the run back, 1st down.
Blyer takes it into the end zone, and it's a touchdown, and it is a go-ahead score for Pittsburgh. This is Don Criqui with Hank Stram. We apologize to those of you who are viewing in Miami. I hope you're enjoying it. Normally you see the pregame show now. There's been a switch in the switch, so you see a live football game. There's been some football game. We'll be going back to the pregame show in Miami, but right now you're watching the Saints trying to come down the field with 1:45 left to play. Manning has had a spectacular day. Rolling out, throws the ball. And it is incomplete. He was looking for Tony Galbraith. John Banaszak, big defensive tackle, was on the rush. Hank Stram, I see you down the sideline now. What do the Saints do here as the Steelers are really putting that defensive pressure on?
Yeah, they're still putting a lot of pressure on the defense, on the offense, especially at this stage of the game. But they have to maintain a lot of poise and do what they feel they have to do. They have to try to get the ball to Henry Childs, I think, the way they're covering. Let's see what they do on this situation.
Wes Chandler, wide to the right. Wide to the left, Icaris. 2nd down and 10, New Orleans. Pittsburgh 20, New Orleans 14, 1:38 to play. Swing pass goes to Galbraith. He's out across the 30 to the 32. Lawrence Taves, number 51, knocked him down. So that brings up another third down as the Steeler defense has really come alive now. You see the clock running. That is the time remaining in the football game. New Orleans led at the half, 7-3. Later trail 13-7. Went ahead 14-13. Now the Steelers have come back a second time to take the lead, 20-14. Manning throws. It is caught for a first down by Ike Harris at the 48-yard line. The Saints still not calling a timeout. 59 seconds left, 57, 56. And now they call a timeout with 55 seconds to play. Hank?
You know, the key to this game so far, and in this particular situation, Don, is the fact that the Pittsburgh Steelers really have not been able to get a good pass rush on Archie Manning.
The drama is building here at Three Rivers Stadium in Pittsburgh. This is Don Criqui with Hank Stram. We have 55 seconds left to play in the game. Archie Manning having one of his most spectacular games as a professional. And the Saints get set to go. Our producer, Bob Rowe, we'd like to thank, and our director, Jim Stillman, our entire CBS crew, associate producer, Mike Albanese, as we come right down to the final gun. Lou Scanna, Sandy Bell, and John Pumo. Bob Siderman and Romeo Corrada. Right now, he's got a lot of football left, even though there's less than a minute left on the clock. Throw complete to Galbraith, but a costly reception as the clock runs, and the Steelers make the knockdown. Lambert was covering perfectly. The resultant gain only 3 yards. The Saints go into formation without a huddle. The Saints must score a touchdown to tie the game. An extra point would win it if they can take it into the end zone. The Steelers defensive backs are playing way back like center fielders now. Prevent defense. Incomplete and a penalty marker down.
It looked like that time there's a holding penalty. Let's see what they call. I think they do. Let's listen.
Jerry Markbright, our referee, ready to give us the signal now. That's going to set the Saints back and give them second and about 17. With 26 seconds showing on the clock. The Steelers looking to extend their winning mark this season to 9-1. If they get it, it did not come easily against an underdog Saint team.
Holding, number 68, offense, second down.
Fred Sturt, the left guard, called for a hold, and so the ball is set back now to the Saints' 43-yard line. And New Orleans there has the ball, second down and about 16 to go for the first down. Saints go with extra, Steelers with extra defensive backs. They zone off the whole field. Manning throws. Galbraith can't get to the ball. It's incomplete. Joe Green came in a hard rush against Archie Manning, and the game clock now shows 21 seconds to play. Hank?
Somebody coming back. He's trying to get him.
Guess all you can do about right now, Henry, down the sideline is put it up long.
Yes, you have to hope for some kind of a pass interference or some kind of a tip ball, some kind of a big play to get you in close enough to try to get the touchdown and win this football game somehow, some way. And this is what it's all about. The field goal, of course, as everybody knows, will not be of any value. And, of course, that's a real asset for the defense to know that you just have to worry about stopping a touchdown play.
That is the whole story right there. Steelers 20, Saints 14, 21 seconds to play. Third down at 16. Manning looks. He's got Childs open. Not enough for the first down, though, as the ball is down to the 46. The Saints call a timeout with 11 seconds left. Jack Lambert again on the tackle. He's played some fine football game. One of the Steelers is down. Looks like L.C. Greenwood might be down. Shaken up. As Archie Manning goes across the way to talk to his head coach, Dick Nolan, gets some counsel from the sidelines as the Saints have time for a couple of more plays, and that's about all.
You know, Don, the other thing that you have to really give a lot of credit to is the offensive line of the New Orleans Saints. That time, Robert Woods, number 65, the right tackle, Dave LaFari, 64, John Hill, 62, Sturt, 68, and 71, Taylor. They've all done a great job out here this afternoon.
We remind you that you'll see the World Middleweight Championship fight live next Saturday here on the CBS Network on the CBS Sports Spectacular. Hugo Coro of Buenos Aires, Argentina. That's where the fight will be held. Will defend against Rodrigo Valdez. And you'll also see live from Aqueduct in New York, the Stuyvesant Handicap for Thoroughbreds, the last race for the Great Seattle Slew. That's next Saturday at 4:30 Eastern, 3:30 Central and Pacific on the CBS Sports Spectacular. 11 seconds to play in the game. Archie Manning walks back out. He is 20 for 30 throwing the ball, 326 yards and 1 touchdown. And right now they're still attending to L.C. Greenwood, who is probably the Steelers' most valuable defensive lineman this year. He's had a fine season. Appears to have a leg injury. 6 of Manning's completions have gone to the tight end, Childs. Good for 92 yards. L.C. Greenwood still down on the playing field here at Three Rivers Stadium in Pittsburgh.
You know, Don, the other thing that's helped I should say probably hurt the Pittsburgh defense as far as their secondary is concerned is the fact that they can't hit receivers on the line of scrimmage like they used to. They used to do a terrific job of that in containing people and preventing them from getting downfield. With the new rule like it is, they can't do that, and as a result, they don't cover that well. And the key has to be the pass rush. And this afternoon, the pass rush was really nullified by the fine work of the offensive line, and a great compliment to those people, and also to Dick Stanfield, the fine line coach of the New Orleans Saints.
Greenwood walking it off to an ovation here at Pittsburgh. You just have to hope it's not a serious injury. He's been a superb football player for the Steelers for a long time. This is his 10th year. Now we come down right to the final drive of this game. 11 seconds to go. Manning drops on 4th down. He throws. It's good for a first down to Galbraith. 3 seconds. And time runs out on the Saints. A great effort as the Steelers come away with one of the tough. No, wait a minute now. We do have still one. Flag is down. That is the call. There's 1 second left, so we're going to have another play, Hank.
Yeah, we got one more shot. 1 second left in the game, and I'm sure this time Archie will just try to throw the ball into the end zone, get it downfield some way, hoping for a big play to pull this game out that would provide them with the opportunity to win it 21-20.
Have you ever seen a similar circumstance where a team actually did score this far out?
Oh, it's happened several times. The Oakland team has been a remarkable team.
Right.
I don't know how they've done it, how many times they've done it, but they've done it many, many times, and we did it a couple of times in Kansas City.
Well, they're looking on anxiously here in Pittsburgh as the Steelers standing along the near sideline. Dick Nolan counseling Archie Manning. One last play. 1 second on the clock. Steelers 20, Saints 14. And what has been a superior effort by New Orleans. They've worked so hard to get this game. They were ahead in the 4th quarter, and then the Steelers, championship team that they are, came right down the field and scored on that great throw from Bradshaw on the run by Rocky Bly after the catch into the end zone for the go-ahead touchdown. Galbraith with 5 catches, Childs with 6, Harris with 4 for 75 yards for New Orleans. So here it comes. You know that Archie's going to be dropping back, cranking it up, and letting it rip into the end zone. And wouldn't be surprised if we see that rookie from Florida, Wes Chandler, trying to make an acrobatic leap at it. This is the last play of the game. Harris to the right. Manning drops to throw. He looks. He throws to Chandler. He catches it, but he's caught, and time runs out. The Steelers had 3 guys back on the goal line, so you weren't going to complete anything into the end zone. They'd hoped that perhaps the Saints did that. Chandler, if he caught the ball as he did, could break away and maybe run it in a long-distance shot, but he did catch the ball, quickly knocked down. So the game ends. The final score: the Pittsburgh Steelers beating New Orleans 20-14. And quite an ending it was. And I see down below Hank Stram as the very fine quarterback of Terry Bradshaw. You'll be talking to Terry Bradshaw when we return to Three Rivers Stadium in Pittsburgh with the final number up: Pittsburgh 20, Saints 14.